Thing for the evening. Stick with us on BBC Sounds 92 to 95 FM online for open all mics, or if you want full commentary of Celtic against Dundee with Pat Bonner and Stuart Mitchell, you can find that online only at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
Oh, what a goal!
All the action.
What a moment!
From all the biggest games.
This is Sport Sound.
Oh, it's a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Another goal!
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland, so the option of commentary is online of that game in the East End of Glasgow. We'll get the pictures coming into the studio of all the games. A terrific night right across the country, so the option of commentary there. They're just about to get underway. 8 o'clock commentary coming for you at Pittodrie this evening. What a game this one promises to be. Aberdeen at home to Rangers, so all the action to come. We were just speaking there about the game in Paisley. Stephen Craigan is there for us, filling up nicely there this evening. Stephen, a great night for a game, isn't it?
Ken, it's a perfect night, and I have to say there's a decent travelling support from St Johnstone, and that probably tells you how they're feeling about their club at the minute. And there's no doubt when you're winning games, everybody becomes united, and I think it's fair to say that under previous management there was a little bit of division between support and team, and they're a little bit discontented. So winning games, Sima Balakari's brought them all together. They come here with great belief, and there was a lovely big flag banner going up over in the is it the North Bank they call it?
Yeah.
St Mirren fan.
Yeah.
It's showtime, and there was a Joker and there was fireworks going off behind. So it's Halloween's on the horizon, so certainly building up to a nice game tonight. I'm expecting a feisty, high tempo intensity game.
It's always glorious in the Highlands. John Robertson, are you expecting a decent game there tonight?
I think it'll be a tight match up here, Ken, if I'm being honest. They say both teams have been working hard. Hibs, have thrown away, I think, about 5-6 points in the last 3 games with late goals. County, very, very tough to beat here at home, we know that, and they had a big morale booster win on Saturday. So I think it'll be a tight one, tough one. I don't see there being a lot of goals, but hopefully we'll be well entertained.
And Rory, you've had plenty of goals in your games of late. Are you expecting more of the same this evening?
Yeah, I think so. I touched on it. I think if both teams turn up, then there's always the potential for goals, and I've been spoiled recently, so I'm hoping that continues. Kerridean's sat next to me. He's got the laptop up. I can see you all. Scott and Julie looking great. Tom and Kenny, you're there as well. So yeah, thoroughly looking forward to this one.
Yeah, actually tell me, I can't see it in the studio. I can see all the games. Can you see Billy Dodds as well? He's in vision up there at Pittodrie. Is he on your screen?
Not right at this moment.
Not yet. He will appear. So Billy Dodds, you've also got to be in your best behaviour this evening. We're all on camera. We're on the BBC Scotland channel. We're on the iPlayer. So it's a busy night. It's a great night in Scottish football. Let's get to the game at Tynecastle. You were giving this one the big build-up. You love going back to Tynecastle, don't you, Derek Ferguson? We'll just come back to Derek in a minute's time. We can see all the pictures coming in already underway at Celtic Park. Martin Dowden.
Yeah, and I have to say, Kenny, it's Dundee who've been showing up front early on. Portala has just had a great chance, swiped at the ball, angled it towards the corner. Schmeichel got down low and tipped it away for a corner, but Dundee on the front foot in these very early stages.
Yeah, a big chance for
Kenny,
Celtic.
can I just ask what the selection process was to be in the studio and be in vision? Because I was thinking good looks, and so I'm nothing against you, but you sitting amongst that group maybe doesn't help them out.
Well, I mean, this is what I have to put up with.
You're holding your own.
This is a weekly occurrence.
Tom, let's go along the line. So we've got a bit of youth with Scott Allen, a bit of glamour with Julie, and a bit of...
Come on, Kenny.
I defy description. I'm all of those things and more.
The scary thing was, I think certainly for the first time for me, probably for Tom, not for Julie, she's in the telly a lot, as is Scott, we had makeup applied ahead of this one tonight. So I don't know if you can see the pictures coming in. You can see them, Rory, can't you?
Yeah, well, Kerridean's next to me. I think we're a wee bit behind given the connection, but Tom English is in black and white. I mean, I don't know what's going on there.
Am I? Right, okay. Well, let's get on with the football. We're not here to talk about ourselves, are we?
No, we're not. Well, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game at Tynecastle. Derek Ferguson, apologies, there was a minute's silence there.
Yeah, and observed impeccably, but everyone in the stadium, my Hearts do it ever so well. I was here for 3 years, so I know it is dear to everybody's heart. So total respect here at Tynecastle, but we're underway, Kenny, and I'm looking forward to this one tonight. Hopefully we're going to get goals, but two sides, there's not a lot between the two of them in terms of you look back
over the course of the last number of years. It seems that Kilmarnock do pretty well here at Tynecastle and vice versa. You know, Hearts do pretty well down there in Ayrshire. So looking forward to this one. We're off and running. Let's go.
Yeah, you were saying earlier on, Scott, your experience at Hibs when the manager come in and changed the shape and how that just improved things. And that's been the case for Neil Critchley at Hearts, hasn't it? He's changed things, and so far it's worked.
Yeah, I think their two home performances have been excellent. Look at the game against St Mirren. It couldn't go off to a better start, and then the European performance for me was excellent. I thought Ammonia would have been better right enough, but I thought Hearts didn't allow them to get into their stride, and obviously off to 2 clean sheets in his first 2 home games. Chance there.
Right, chance.
Yeah, chance at St Mirren Park, and it all comes from a quick throw-in. Something that Stephen Robinson had highlighted that he wanted his players to do is try and get the ball back and play as quick as he possibly can. Comes down the left-hand side. It's an in-swinging cross from Greg Tanzer, and it's Bomono, the opposite wing-back, who gets in front of Kyle Cameron, but it's a smart save down by Ross Sinclair. But certainly St Mirren have started strong.
So a lot of space there, Craigs, didn't he? He was a free header there.
Yeah, he did. Well, he actually got across from Kyle Cameron, had closed his shoulders and didn't see him coming, Tom. So the attacking Bomono had read the ball better than Kyle Cameron and just got in front of it. Decent contact, he put it down low. If he'd put it in one of the corners, you'd imagine it'd be 1-0.
Big chance, Julie, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big chance. He does really well to get in behind the defender, and a great ball. Tanzer's deliveries normally on point, and yeah, a real opportunity. He does well to get the ball, head the ball down the way, but a decent save.
In their screen, top right there, just saw pictures of David Gray, Scott, a man that you know well. What is he actually? I've said in the programme before, I think he speaks quite well after the games because
he does.
He's quite realistic. I think that's the game I've just been watching. That's not always the case with managers, as we know. What is he like? How will he be handling the pressure right now?
How is he handling the pressure? Listen, I think the word frustrated would kind of sum him up. I think you obviously work hard all week to have a game plan. When it comes to a Saturday or a Sunday, and individuals cost you moments, it costs you big points. That is the hardest thing to take for a manager, especially a young manager who, by the way, we played them early on in the season with Kelty Hearts, and I looked at, although we got the win, I know I'm not plugging that there.
I've heard you mention it.
Although we got the win, I could see what he was trying to build. But what I've seen the last few weeks, I see a nervousness within the players, and you could see that in terms of how many times they went long against Hearts. It wasn't midfielders really want to take the ball by the scruff of the neck. So I just think first and foremost, get a clean sheet.
Big chance for Celtic there. It was Kyogo just going through, nicely worked by Arnie Engels into his path. He got beyond, he just didn't show that normal composure, snatched at the ball and it went well wide. Just a minute or two before that, he also had a shot, very well saved by John McCracken. Celtic just starting to ramp it up. Celtic 0, Dundee 0.
Can I just ask Scott, Kenny, Hibs and David Gray is very measured after the games and things, I do agree with that. Do you think in the dressing room though he's different? I can imagine him ripping the strips off the players at times with the frustration of some of the goals they concede, so he is quite measured after the game. But don't know David Gray too well, but I don't think he would take many prisoners when it came to the debrief after a few of these goals they've conceded.
Well, Rory, as a player, I can't really recall even times where we've had poor performances where he really went through people. He has always been quite a measured guy, quite quiet, but we both know what it's like. If you're in charge of a team, you sit up all week, and then week after week,
individual errors
of costing you. You can only take so much of that, and then you need to make changes. I think the problem with some of the players, he just doesn't have the quality throughout the squad to replace it, and he's kind of sticking with it. But for me, a lot of it's on the players, and it's time for the players to repay the manager, because there's guys getting picked week in, week out who for me wouldn't be starting.
It's up to some of the players to call out as well, isn't it? Do you think there are characters right now at Hibs to be taking charge, taking control of that dressing room?
Well, everybody was crying for a new defence. You get rid of Paul Hanlon, who'd been there for so many years, the same as Lewis Stevenson. Both weren't big shouters, but they knew what the club was about. They'd been through the good times and the bad times. I think now you've replaced that defence, and the defence looks worse than what it was come the end of last season. That would be the main worry. We can't keep going from window to window. What do you do? Replace another three, the back five, goalkeeper included, because it's not worked for the first 3 months. But that is where the league position shows you.
An injury concern, Derek Ferguson.
Yeah, it's came from the away side. I think it's Sidibe who gets the last touch. I think is it Kyle Cameron, or it could be Jack Sanders actually, who gets out, the flags up. The flag's up. Sidibe must have been right in front of Ellery Balcombe.
I think he needs some sort of excuse, but my first reaction was he should have saved that.
Well, the angle we're at, Kenny, we couldn't. I can't see Balcombe. I could just see Sidibe in front of him. I'm guessing VAR will have a check at it, but it was an out-swinging corner for Matthew Smith. Sanders wins a header. It's flicked into the net, I think, by Sidibe. And St Mirren may have got a lifeline, but I tell you what, it was great play by St Johnstone initially. They played the ball out from the back, in through midfield, some lovely one-touch football, and earned the corner kick. Simo Valakari was applauding his players for doing that, and from that corner they've got the goal, but we're still waiting to see if it's going to be confirmed as offside or not.
Yeah, Ken, it was Frankie Kent. He was down for 2 or 3 minutes. A little bit of concern about him. I think it was a head knock, so again, they've got to be careful in this day and age, so they took their time, but he's back on the pitch, looks okay. Yeah, he's moving well. He looks fine. So, but the medical team took a little bit of time over that, so it was stopped for about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I was still waiting for that VAR decision in Paisley, Stephen.
We are, yes. I'm sat beside James, the media officer at St Mirren. I've had a look at the screen to try and get a better look at it. Nothing's really coming through at the minute. From the angle I'm seeing at, his leg must be offside, because I think Scott Townsend could possibly be behind him, or at least level with him.
He's almost side on.
That's very close, isn't it?
It's very tight. It's very tight. Right, we'll bring that to you shortly. Time now for our second commentary option of the evening. Aberdeen against Rangers is an 8 o'clock start at Pittodrie. Full commentary on Radio Scotland Extra, online and digital, coming up right now with Willie Miller and Liam McLeod. You are tuned to Open All Mics on BBC at Radio Scotland. Still, we wait for that VAR decision in Paisley. It certainly looked very tight. I want to get to Billy Dodds in a minute. My goodness, there's some display up there at Pittodrie. What a welcome for these Rangers players up there. We'll come to you just 1 second, Bill. I can see you poised with your mic in hand. We'll just wait for this decision through in
Goal's been given. It's 1-0.
Right, 1-0 to
Yeah, I managed to see it from side on, Kenny. I think the angle that you guys had seen in the studio, and I think he looked onside from that angle that I had a look at, but obviously VAR had to go a little bit longer, so my feeling was goal, and it is a goal to the away side.
Yeah, what a fantastic start for Simo Valakari as St Johnstone man. You can see the pictures on there, just giving his players a wee talking to, the ones that come over for a drink of water. The rest are on the pitch celebrating. Nicky Clark speaking with referee Stephen McLean there, but goal stands through in Paisley in the Battle of the Saints. St Mirren 0, St Johnstone 1. He should have done better.
There's been a bounces right in front of him.
Talk about individual errors again.
I think he's put off by the players right in front of him.
Yeah.
To give him the benefit of the doubt, I think he should still save it, but I think he's delayed his movement just because of the players that are right in front of his vision.
Billy Dodds, we can see the players in the tunnel up there at Pittodrie. That looks like an electric atmosphere up there.
It's cranked up just a bit, Kenny. I mean, the pyrotechnics were in the Aberdeen end, and there was a bit of mist, as you're probably seeing, going about. The flame-throwing pyrotechnics were over on the far side as the build-up, as the teams come out. Aberdeen had a great display, a big Aberdeen banner, and then the red and white stripes and flags. As some seen the Rangers fans, that section they have filled to the brim has been cranked up, and they are ready to go as the teams come out.
And you are fancying a draw there this evening, Billy?
I am, but I hope I get an entertaining game, and if you go with these here, the fireworks, it's like a cup final. This is incredible.
It's incredible, isn't it?
The stage is set. I just hope we get a game to match that.
I mean, the fireworks going off there are incredible. See, if you're a player, you're loving that, aren't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, what an occasion for them. Brilliant atmosphere, whether you're playing for the home side or Rangers. Yeah, it's shaping up to be a cracker.
Hearts nearly taking the lead there, Kenny. At Spittle. It was Bargas getting a 1v1 in the box, but elected just to square it to Spittle, just edge of the box. He goes for a little bit of power, a little bit more, I would say, placement, try to find that bottom left-hand corner. It was a fine save by McCrory, but Hearts just starting to get a little bit of a rhythm now, starting to get themselves forward, and that's their first shot on target. Unlucky not to take the lead.
Yeah, what's happening in the early stages at Tannadice, Rory?
Not a lot, Kenny. I say that both sides played their best. It would be a right good game, but it's been quite scrappy so far. No real chances. A couple of half-decent moves that didn't amount to too much at all, but not much happening so far, Kenny. Still 0-0.
What is that look of Lewis Miller with the shots? You see him there?
I just want him to defend, Kerry.
Michael was going off his head.
Just want him to defend.
He was. I mean, that is the big issue, isn't it? He's one of these guys. He's physical. He looks a player, but he's so suspect at the back, isn't he?
Yeah, the problem for me, he looks more suspect when he's on the ball. He looks like Hibs can concede when he's on the ball. I know that could be seen as very harsh, but I've seen enough of him now to think that would be... Listen, Chris Cadden obviously been injured, but for me, he doesn't start for me.
But it's the age-old problem with Hibs. We've been sitting in the studio for seasons now talking about Hibs' problems at the back. And they bring in a couple of players and they try and fix it, and nothing improves it. In fact, it's getting worse.
It's getting worse, yeah. And this is going from window to window. That's what I touched on with Paul Hanlon and Stevenson, guys who ended well into their 30s now, and you replace them with guys who you think are going to be better, and then they're not. So what do? You've now got another player on 3-4 year contracts on really good money, which Hibs are paying now, and deemed not good enough by the fans already.
It's a club, I think, anyway, in terms of the transfer market, that they've lost their confidence. You know, in terms of signing players.
They'd one Scottish player playing for them, who's technically Australian when it comes to international football, but one Scottish player.
Yeah.
I think that showed.
How have they started up in Dingwall, John Robertson?
It's not been a great game so far. It's just what I said. You thought it's tight. You know, Hibs have gone 4-4, 1-1. Hoylett, well, it was just Scott called it bang on there. Lewis Miller got the ball and stood in it and gave County a breakaway. So a little bit of vision from him there ahead of time. But it's what you expect. County have got this 3-5-2 system that they're quite comfortable in and are very hard to break down. Hibs 4-4, 4-2-3-1, I suppose, but Hoylett's trying to get up there. Boyle's down the right, but it's just, you know, we're 15 minutes in. Neither keeper's been tested. One corner each. It's just tight. It's the best way to do it, but a little bit of vision from our wonderful studio guest here on Lewis Miller in these shorts.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of County, John, do you think he's got enough on that squad to stay away from the relegation battle this season?
Yes, I think if you start to look at County's bench, you know, I always think you look at a team's bench, they'll tell you where they've got, you know, Scott Allardyce, who very, very good player. Laturi, who's been in the team for a while. Greaves has come up. Nisbet's played a lot. Effetti's played a lot. Samuel's always coming on. Brophy's always coming on. And Josh Reid. So that's a strong bench. And what I will say about both teams, there are some big laddies out there. There's only Hoylett and Boyle are under 6 foot for Hibs. Johan maybe just a tad underneath it. But I'll tell you what, County have got some big loons as well. You know, Jordan White, Campbell, Laporta, Leak, Wright. You know, there's some big lads here, but you know, so far nothing happening on the ground. Technically, I hear what Scott said. I like the boy Dylan Levitt, and I'm wondering if he's the type of player Hibs need to try and get in the team to create something, to get them on the ball, to get Hoylett on the ball further up the pitch. Boyle, you need to get somebody on the ball to get Yuan on the left and Boyle on it up and use their explosive pace. I'm not so sure Nuo, and especially so much Triantis, you know, they're in the middle of the park to stop other teams playing. They need that creative spark, Hibs. That's what, you know, listen to what Scott was saying earlier about what the problem is. I think they've got players that can score goals. It's whether they can get them on the ball.
Billy Dodds, I heard some booing there. Was that an early touch for Connor Barron?
I'll let you guess. I'll tell you what, it was 3 touches and he got absolute dogs, and then he made a tackle and he practically wanted him sent off. I thought it was a free kick. He got away with it, but he got pelters to go with it. It was he started the game well. Connor Barron handled the occasion quite well so far.
What's happening at Celtic Park? Martin Dowden is watching Celtic at home to Dundee.
Yeah, it's still Celtic 0, Dundee 0. A familiar pattern setting in here. Celtic got all of the ball going towards Dundee, but they're doing a good job, I have to say, in just holding them out. That chance for Kyogo really ought to have been buried. Celtic should be 1-0 up, but Dundee and Tony Docherty will feel they've done well to get to this stage, and they seem to have a little bit of control, albeit they're not getting up the pitch.
Couple of goals early on in the League Cup in England. Aston Villa 0, Crystal Palace 1, and Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0. So let's continue around the grounds. Let's get back to Tynecastle. A great start for Neil Critchley.
Chance Kenny!
Yeah.
Oh, what a block, Nicky Devlin. By the way, it was really good play by Cyril Dessers. He took a great touch, you'll probably see it. He fed it to McCausland. McCausland cuts in and gives it back to him. The way he passes brilliant, his touch is brilliant, sets him up for a shot, and Nicky Devlin gets in a great block.
Yeah, that was some decent play there, no doubt at all about that. An early chance for Rangers in that game. Let's go back to Derek. What's happening at Tynecastle?
Yeah, Hearts 0, Killie 0. Kenny at the moment, Hearts dictating the play. They've got a grip here, although Well, we're only 15 minutes in, but I think it'll be slightly worrying for Derek McInnes down there. He ain't too happy, I can tell you that, but they just seem to have got into the rhythm a little bit quicker than Kelly, you know, getting themselves forward. That Spittle shot, there was Forrester there, it was a kind of a cross come short, looked as if it was going to find the top corner, but McCrory just getting across to grasp it, but yeah.
Oh, 2-0! It's 2-0, Kenny.
Wow.
I have to say, St Johnstone have really, flags up again. There's the flag up again from Stephen McLean. That must have been from the first ball into the box then. That's the second time the ball's went into the St Mirren box, which is really unusual for them, where they lose the first contact.
Certainly looking at their faces, Julie, they seem pretty bemused, the St Johnstone players.
Yeah, they do. They seem confused. You can see Nicky Clark, he goes to celebrate and he hears the whistle. He's going to approach Stephen McLean.
All I can think of is Kimpioka. He may have handled the ball. When the ball was headed to him, I don't know if he used an arm accidentally or unintentionally and set himself up for a strike and goal. Of course, you can't assist yourself with a handball, put into your own path. So that could be the issue. I don't know.
It's not clear on that picture, is it?
But what is clear is that St Mirren can't handle Kimpioka. And he's muscling them out of the way. He's having the run of it back there.
John, they have the game exactly where they want it. Because they have Sidibe and Kimpioka up front with pace. They want St Mirren to come on to them and attack, and then they can hit them long in the counter-attack with pace.
Oh, that is not a goal. It's a poor touch from Barron. He took a really good touch. Oh, they are on him. He has got to handle this. This is the loudest I've heard it in here for many a year. It's incredible. As soon as he made the mistake, honestly, what a celebration.
It's so tough, isn't it? I mean,
cruel.
It's a hard school.
That goal gone to VAR, Stephen?
Yes, it has. Yes, that's what we're waiting on.
Still waiting on
that's
this.
why I'm trying to second guess what it is. He's either offside from the first ball into the. Well, he's offside. Steve McLean's raised his hand.
All right.
So he must have been offside from the initial ball into the box. But that is a concern for St Mirren. That's twice.
Yeah.
That's happened, and they've conceded one goal and could have conceded a second.
Right, let's get to Canaries. A quiet start there for you, Rory Loy.
Yeah, it has been a quiet start. Lennon Miller started to grow in influence ever so slightly, but Dundee United are the team now on top. They've won a good few corners in a row. They've played them short. Motherwell will be quite slow to react a couple of times. They've got a third one in a row here from the right-hand side, but all in all, Kenny, still not a lot to report, to be totally honest with you. It's still 0-0.
Opportunity for Kilmarnock there. It's a through ball. It was Vassell who's on it. It's clean through. He's always struggling just to get there right enough. He just kind of nicks it past Gordon in goals. I think it's Watkins. You know, he's trying to help it on to get it into the back of the net, but you've got Kent and Rose there, you know, hemming down on him, and just I think they give him a little knock or two, but it's the first real opportunity for Kilmarnock. Vassell straight through, but nope, Hearts clear the danger.
Tom, what are your thoughts on Philippe Clement? I was at the European game. To be honest, they were up against a really poor side that night. It was a comfortable win for Rangers. I've just sensed quite a lot of the fans changing their opinion on the manager. Have you picking that up?
Yeah, like, I mean, you have a club like Rangers, you have a couple of bad results, and you may feel as if the world is against you. They have an awful lot of supporters who are very vocal. They have high standards and they want to win games. I've huge sympathy for Clement. I think he's a good manager, but he is, at the moment, he is he's more than a manager. He's front of house. See, they've no chief executive, they've no chairman. There's 4 key positions in the club unfilled. So he's doing all the talking pretty much. John Gilligan, the interim chairman, does a bit of talking. It's mostly Clement. Has to speak everything. He's carrying a huge burden. And Rangers' financial results come out yesterday, and it's a £17.2 million loss off the back of record revenues of 88.3. So it's more kind of bad news. By contrast, Celtics has a pre-tax profit of 17.8 million.
But should he be getting more out of these players?
Yes.
You think so?
As a footballer, as a manager, especially at Rangers, I completely get what Tom's saying in terms of he's having to handle hard interviews, but a lot of that's coming down to team performance. He can affect what a player does and how his team works Monday to match day. And for me, I can't see an identity come match day which tells me what they've worked on during the week. That's in my opinion, and that's what I think he can do better.
The players can certainly help him out, Scott, can't they, and put on a performance, especially games like St Mirren wasn't great the weekend, got the victory, that's the main thing. But the Kilmarnock game, that comes back to haunt them. The players have to do more at certain times when he's struggling. He's the front man,
Yeah,
as you
of
say,
course.
Tom. But if they, and I know it's up to him to make them perform, but they can help him out, because if you're on a performance, he ain't getting the stick.
Kenny, put it into context. You're along with Tom and Billy and the guys in the studio.
Mistake, Sokler, chance, McGrath. What a save, Butland, he gets back and blocks it. Duke, he has a strike, it's cleared away, great chance for Aberdeen. Now it's gone up the other end, and Aberdeen have the next opportunity in the match.
What a chance.
Here Devlin, inches wide. He gets the ball maybe 20 yards out and he just curled it. He kind of reverses it and Butland's looking at it, and it just, I think he's got it covered, but it's a yard past the right hand post.
It's a chance, it's a goal! And it's Masson Eastway for Motherwell. It's a ball to the back post. Lennon Miller with a free kick. He digs it to the back post. Dan Casey heads it back across the goal, and it's a bit of a scuffed finish, but it ends up in the back of the net. And Dundee United to be kicking themselves, because Motherwell did exactly the same from a free kick in exactly the same position a couple of minutes ago. And still Dan Casey gets a free header, and it's 1-0 Motherwell.
Yeah, scrappy goal, wasn't it?
It's a brilliant delivery though from Lennon Miller. He just hangs the ball up to the back post, and well worked. It's a header back across the front of goal, and yeah, a nice finish.
He started well, Tawanda Masawanise. He's very, very quick. Stevenson got booked for hauling him down, but he's been a great outlet for Motherwell.
Go back to that Aberdeen chance. That was a hell of a chance.
The Aberdeen chance, yeah.
Duke has caused a bit of trouble there. And was it McGrath coming through?
You would fancy
Yeah. I mean, you'd back him there, Doddsy, wouldn't you, to score?
Yeah, I thought it was Sokler on.
Check for
I thought it was
offside.
a mistake. Sokler on, nicked it off Balogun and just cut it back for McGrath, who hits a strike. Oh, right. It's a good attempt. Just you come to us there, Tom. It's Tom Lawrence, funny enough, who gets it 20 yards out. Just tries a dip and volley, but Tom's got it covered.
Right, so just VAR check at Tannadice, sorry.
Yeah, there's a VAR check. It'll be for Dan Casey's run. He's maybe went too early. He didn't look offside to me, but to be honest, I'm right in the middle of the pitch. It's very difficult to tell from this angle. So we'll see. The referee's got his hand to his ear, so I'll keep you updated.
A bit of action somewhat.
Yeah, a little bit of action at Celtic Park there, Kenny. It was a good ball from Palma into Arnie Engels, making a late run into the box. He got a shot away, just blocked again away for another corner. Celtic pressing, but Dundee holding firm. So still 0-0.
Right, still waiting. Referee with his hand to his ear there at Tannadice. It's a big moment in this game. Just waiting. We've not seen a replay in the studio.
Yeah, Kenny, to be honest, it needed a goal. It was quite scrappy. But like I said, Dundee United to be kicking themselves. He got a free kick 30 yards out, and Miller tried that. And Dan Casey, it was just too much. But is the set goal given? 1-0 Motherwell. And it happened identically, and they didn't pick it up. So Motherwell 1-0 up here at Tannadice.
Right, Stephen, you were wanting to come into that chat before you come on.
Well, it was just based on the players that he has, the players at his disposal, and the ones he's brought in, who clearly at this moment in time have shown they're not up to the challenge. But you were talking earlier about a combined team of Aberdeen and Rangers, and they could only get 3 Rangers players in an Aberdeen team. So flip it into Glasgow, when there's two teams that count, it seems to be in their eyes, there's absolutely no Rangers player getting anywhere near the Celtic team.
No.
And when you look at the figures Tom's talking about, Philip Clement, in his defence, he's been having to get rid of players from Pedro Caixinha's era, from Steven Gerrard, from Giovanni van Bronckhorst, from Michael Beadle. He's having to bear the brunt of all the failures and poor signings then, and he's having to deal with that as well. So I get he should be getting more out of the players, but patience and time. If you're going through a transitional period, patience and time, which I know aren't
still a lot of his players in this team though, Stephen.
Yes, but what I'm saying is he needs patience to bed them in, and Roy, they're younger men. They're young players making the win. There's not many players come to a team like Rangers where they have to win every single week. That's a mentality thing, that's a consistency thing which these players haven't shown. So you can't just keep spending and sacking. Otherwise, those figures that came out yesterday are just going to continue to get worse.
Stephen, I think he struggles with the players that he's got in terms of Bajrami, Czerny. It's clear to see they're not as comfortable in the wide areas. They're more comfortable in one. Yep. And with the formation that he plays, the 4-2-3-1 and the 3, in that 3, they wide men, normally you go with a little bit more pace and power. Those guys are in terms of they're more intricate in their play. They want to go in and they want to play the little give and goes. I don't think it suits them. I don't think the manager gives them the best a chance, when he plays with that formation. I think that's why he should tweak it a little bit, or try and get a little bit more pace and power. But I mean, that's the players that he has brought to the club. That's the formation he wants to play. And I think that's why they've struggled at times, because the players, they're not comfortable in those positions.
I think Rangers are so desperate to get a player trading model going that they have maybe a little bit of an imbalance now. A lot of younger players coming into the club, and a lot is being expected of them, and they're probably not ready. Because their player trading model hasn't existed really effectively. They can see across the city a player trading model working and bringing in fortunes to Celtic. That's what they need to get. But I think they've just got it a bit lopsided right now.
Sorry, something's going on at Tannadice here. I didn't want to interrupt you there, so I'm sorry. But I don't know what is going on. He's pulled Babunski and O'Donnell, and he's chatting to them both. And I've really no idea what is going on at all. The game's stopped. We're waiting on a long throw in the touchline.
Oh! Thought it was just going to deflect, and I don't know what Armstrong's thinking of. Try to clear his line. He hits it straight to Devlin. He's 35 yards out. He takes a touch out his feet, goes for goal. It's a wicked deflection. The keeper's already away to his right hand side. I thought it was going to nestle into that bottom left hand corner, but thankfully for the Kilmarnock goalkeeper, it just goes past the post. So it's been a bit scrappy the last 10 minutes, Kenny, but I think it's Hearts that are always asking the question.
I don't know if Scott and Julie can help us out. There was an incident with Dessers there, the Aberdeen fans there, right up for it tonight, baying for blood. I think it was Rubizic. He just wanted to shield Dessers off the ball. I don't know if he flicked out, but...
Oh, what a goal! What a goal from Scott Tanser! On the right-hand side, he bends it with his left foot. He was out taking a corner kick. So Murmur appealing for a penalty on Olasanya. Referee played on. Scott Tanser, first time, sends it into the far right-hand corner, past Ross Sinclair. What a response. What a goal from Scott Tanser. 1-1 here in Paisley.
Nice, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, brilliant finish. He's just out taking the corner, as you say, and as he comes back in, he hits it first time. It's got pace, it's got power, it manages to dip in. Yeah, it's a wonderful strike.
He's definitely meant that, has he?
Well, I did question that myself.
I think he has.
It was a wee bit loopy for me. It was a wee bit loopy on first view, and I'll need to see it again.
A Flair player like Scott Allen says he didn't mean that. Or is it a former Flair player? I'm not too sure.
He's meant it.
That angle shows that he's meant it.
Yeah.
Fair. I've cast aspersions here. I take them all back.
Here we are now, just getting a look now.
That was a brilliant strike.
He falls after
and he falls over as well.
Yeah, very nice strike. No breakthrough so far for Celtic, Martin.
No, they're absolutely camped in Dundee's half. But Dundee, I have to say, looking very well organised, really solid. Celtic trying to get at them down the sides with Yang and Palmer. They're not quite getting the delivery right for field goal to get in there, but that was a good shot from McCowan. Oh, that bent just wide of the far post there. A really measured, controlled one, just a yard or so beyond that far post. But yes, Dundee hang in pretty well, but Celtic all of the ball and camped in their half, still 0-0.
How would you describe the play up there at Pittodrie, Bill? It sounds very noisy.
This is manic, honest to God. This is scary stuff. I don't know who's down, maybe you can help me out with that one as well, but Aberdeen have a brilliant opportunity. Jack McKenzie's robbed Tavernier on the edge of the box, he's flicked it, and Mr. Beaton has stopped play. I know it's a head knock, he's gone back 60 yards, I know it's the rules, but my word, what an opportunity. But he let it go on for long enough, and the Rangers players going down, and they're seeing to him now, but the Aberdeen fans ain't happy, lads.
I've asked you this before, Billy, about Rangers, speaking about Philippe Clement. Do you think there's more he can be doing with the players? I've asked you a few times, but potentially a change of shape.
I thought tonight, he's obviously... Maybe, and I looked at the team and I saw Casemiro and I saw Tavernier, and I'm thinking, right, okay, and then I saw Jeffrey was out, so I knew Casemiro was going to left back, but that's not a change of shape, change of personnel. So he's obviously looking at certain games where they've looked at Keskinen and thought Casemiro can shift. He just had a foot race a moment ago and he got back to him. A change of shape, he's got the personnel to change it, Kenny, I'm not going to disagree with you, but he likes this 4-2-3-1 and he thinks it's his best shape for the personnel he has. The one thing this team hasn't got, and Fergie touched on it, they have no pace. I think teams can play high against him without worrying too much, and that's the problem he's got. I think if there's recruitment going on in the future and they do get ahead of recruitment, they need to make sure that they're signing players with pace. That'll help Rangers a lot.
Yeah, no doubt at all about that. Looking at the games in England in the League Cup this evening, half-time Brighton 0, Liverpool 0, Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 2, Leicester City 1, Newcastle United 2, Chelsea 0, Preston 0, Arsenal 2, and just underway, Spurs 0, Manchester City 0.
Trapanovsky just had a chance there. He cut in from the right-hand side, Kenny. First signs of life for Dundee United. They've had a good few corners, but nothing's really came of them. But Trapanovsky cut in and had a strike with his left foot, but Aston Oxford beat it away, and it was a Motherwell foot on it first. So still 1-0 Motherwell here.
Let's get back to Paisley. A decent game there then. A couple of goals at least for you, Stephen.
Yeah, it is, Kenny. And you can just see the change in the body language of the St Mirren players. Just their anticipation in the game now. They're stepping into things. When they were trailing by that goal and they were struggling to make any kind of headway. I should have scored, Marcus Fraser. And trying a free kick on the left-hand side. Once again from Scott Tanzer, he's been excellent tonight. Not just with his goal, but his delivery from that left-hand side. And Marcus Fraser gets in. He makes a poor contact, and eventually it's saved by Ross Sinclair. But that's just a little picture of the body language and the psychology of the St Mirren players. They're going through a tough spell, go behind, they're feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. Suddenly they get that goal, and everything changes. They're a little bit sharper and quicker onto it. They're pressing really high.
It's a great chance. It's a great chance.
Yeah. Great chance. Great ball out from Tanzer.
Just signed a new contract this week as well. And Marcus Fraser, the St Mirren player there. So one apiece in Paisley. Still no goals through at Tynecastle. Derek Ferguson.
No, it's been a bit scrappy at times, but I was just talking to Brian there as well. It's quite unusual for Kilmarnock because it's Hearts that are, they're forcing the play. They're trying to create things, and it looks as if Kilmarnock have just retreated into that kind of low block and just sitting in and trying to make it hard for Hearts to. It's like saying, "Come on, Hearts, try and break us down," which is very surprising when you look at the talent that Kilmarnock have got. I thought they would have more of a go, but no, it's all Hearts. They're probing. They're popping balls about, but Hearts, Kilmarnock, just seem quite content just to sit edge of the 18-yard box, soak up the pressure, but they're not even hitting Hearts on the break. So not making for the greatest of games at the moment, but it's Hearts that are trying, for the shots from distance. There's Forrest, tries one from away over there, 20 yards out at the angle, but it's never going to trouble McCrory. But I just think they're asking for trouble if they keep bringing Hearts on them. But it's not making for the greatest of games, I've got to say, Kenny.
Who's had the better of it up in Dingwall so far, John Robertson?
Neither, if I'm being honest. It's not a great game. I'm looking at my notes here. There's a speculative effort from Chilvers from about 35 yards. It went a couple of yards wide. Hoylett got into the inside right position, but Sclafty shot in the side net, and it's just nothing happening really. Hibs are having a reasonable spell on the ball at the moment, a bit more controlled, but it's not great at the moment. I say it's more perspiration than inspiration, I would suggest, at the moment.
Was that a chance elsewhere?
Yeah, it was at Pittodrie. I mean, it was nearly magical from McGrath. He had the ball 22 yards out, hit a free kick, and I thought it beat the goalkeeper, and Butler's just looking at it, but it goes wide his right hand post. By how much, I don't know.
He had it well covered.
Okay.
Dudley.
Every time I look up Martin Dowden, I see Celtic on the attack, but no breakthrough so far.
Yeah, I'm getting a sore neck, Kenny, looking to my right throughout this half. They are, I would start to say, they're starting to struggle a little bit. There's just not that quite the creativity needed in the wide areas. Dundee really packing out and closing down spaces and angles around that box. And you can just see that frustration building. What are we, 36 minutes into this half now? Celtic would expect to be ahead. They had that great chance from Kyogo. Other than that, it's been fairly limited to shots from distance. And I think Tony Docherty will be absolutely delighted seeing his players stick very much to the game plan here. And Celtic and the crowd, importantly, just starting to get frustrated. Still 0-0.
If you're a Dundee player, Julie, it's all about just having certain times in your head, right? Get to 20-minute mark, get to half-time, keep it tight.
Yeah, I think at this stage that half-time will be in their sights now.
Good ball, it's an equaliser, and it's Sam Dalby. It's Trapanovsky, he goes down the left-hand side, he lifts a lovely ball up. Potentially the fullback can do a little bit better in terms of putting pressure on the ball. It comes in, and Dalby heads into the net for one apiece.
Nice header, wasn't it?
It was a nice header, yeah. Great ball into the box and into such a dangerous area, and he does really well just to get over it and head it down the way.
Yeah, he's been good every time I've seen him. Dalby holds the ball up well. I likened him to John Daly when he was here. Holds the ball up, he's big, he's strong, he stays between the sticks, and he gets his reward there.
How would you describe, Rory, the way Dundee United play under Jim Goodwin?
I think they're quite happy to give up possession at times, Kenny. I don't think they're looking to dominate the ball. Babinski's a good ball player, and when they win the ball back, they look to break quickly down the sides. Middleton's in good form at the moment. You've got Trapanovsky on the other side. So, you know, a lot of teams like to try and dominate the ball and play this particular style of play. I think they're quite happy to give the ball up, attack down the wider areas and score goals similar to what we've just seen there with Dalby. So they're good to watch, but they are open at times, which probably leads to a lot of goals in their games.
Yeah, which we love, of course, on Sports Sound. Plenty of goal action in their games. So Celtic 0, Dundee 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 1, Hearts 0, Kilmarnock 0, Ross County 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1, Aberdeen 0, Rangers 0. Billy Dodd, still no sign of the breakthrough.
No, there have been a few close chances, a bit scrappy. There's some intensity in this game, and it's leading to a lot of free kicks. And I'll tell you what, John Beaton's got a hard night. There's another one there. McCausland for me has just been made the scapegoat, Kenny, when he a through ball there goes to the goalkeeper, but he kind of bundled into McGrath. It was clumsy, and he picked up the first yellow card. For me, it wasn't a yellow. There was yellows elsewhere in the game, but anyway, first yellow card been given to McCausland. A lot of free kicks, but this game has been played at some pace, I'll tell you.
Oh, a little chance for Olasanya there. Greg Kilty picks up the ball, just slides him into that left-hand channel. He goes for the near post of Ross Sinclair, who's flying through the air, but just whizzes past. St Mirren really have pressed the life out of St Johnstone since the goal. Really aggressive, Kenny. They're winning the ball high up. St Johnstone are still trying to play, but more often than not, St Mirren are nicking it off them.
In the League Cup in England, half-time Brighton 0, Liverpool 0. Approaching half-time, Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 1, Manchester United 4, Leicester City 1, Newcastle United 2, Chelsea 0, Preston 0, Arsenal 2.
There's a big chance for Dundee.
Yep.
Oh, should really have been 2-1 to Dundee United there. It's Lucas Stevenson this time down the right-hand side. The ball comes into the box. Motherwell are at 6s and 7s, and it finds its way, I think it's to Trapanovsky eventually, and he's got a lot of the goal to hit. Sklavs it, goes out for the corner. Dundee United really going into this one now.
Early goal for Spurs at home to Manchester City, 1-0 to them in the League Cup down in England. That's you up to date with all the latest scores. Are these sides cancelling each other out up at Pittodrie, Billy?
Not really. I mean, they've got themselves into positions. You saw Aberdeen when they get pulled back a few moments ago. Jack McKenzie was through in goal, and then Balogun was lying in the ground. And then Barron, who's handled the game ever so well, I've got to say, his passing's been brilliant. He looks as if he's right up for it. He's blanking out the crowd, and he's really enjoying the game. So, and he just got into a situation where he crossed there. So there's plenty. Here's a chance. Oh! Now has he got the ball? If he's not got the ball, he said he's got the ball. Balogun, it's a great through ball. Sokler's through on it. You can maybe look at it for me again.
That is.
And I'll tell you, he's cleaned out by Balogun. Sokler, he is raging with the referee, John Beaton. He's not in the best position to call it. It did look as if he got a bit of the ball, but Aberdeen fans again aren't happy. They are absolutely causing carnage when it comes to every decision.
Right, well, we've only seen one very quick, and it wasn't a great angle.
It wasn't a great angle, but I think it's a really risky challenge for him to make. He's caught in the wrong side. If he doesn't get anything on the ball, it's been a really silly challenge.
Sensational pass.
Oh, incredible, was it?
Oh. Whose pass was that, Dodgy? Have you picked that up?
It probably McGrath without even knowing.
It looked like a McGrath type pass.
I'm not sure. I just saw the ball go through. I thought it was Shinnity's start because it was left foot. I'm not sure, Tom. I just missed it. I looked up.
Yeah, we've not seen a replay yet, Dodgy. We're still waiting for that to come. We may get it now because there's a break.
Yeah, I'm telling you just now, just by his body language, John Beaton wasn't sure either, because he had a look and he was thinking, oh no, I've got to call this.
Oh, he's wiped him out. He's nowhere near the ball, is he?
Just by Sokler's reaction, I thought, because he was after the referee, and usually
that angle looks like he gets a touch.
You know what? First angle, Billy looks as if he's nowhere near it. That was our reaction. Second angle, he may have got a touch. We need to see it again.
You lot will never make a ref.
That's for sure.
It was either he either took him out or he didn't, does he? There you go.
Did he give a foul, Billy? Did he give a foul or anything, or was it just...
No, he just play on. He said he got a bit of the ball.
Done the ball signal.
Right, let's get to Celtic Park again. Martin, I'm seeing the home side on the press there, but still no breakthrough.
Yeah, just about 2 or 3 minutes till half-time. Celtic continuing the same pattern, probing away, not quite getting the delivery from wide areas. Paulo Bernardo there just turned and swiveled away, creating a little bit of space, but on his weaker foot again, a shot from 22 yards, and that's been a bit of a theme. Shots from distance that aren't really troubling John McCracken in goal there. Dundee doing well, still 0-0.
That was a chance.
Big chance in Dingwall there.
Oh.
A free kick whipped in. Jordan White gets up early. Bullets a header, but Bursik's done brilliant. Par it away with his left hand there just to keep Hibs in it. They went close a couple of minutes ago. Obita with a brilliant strike, so things starting to warm up a little bit here in Dingwall.
To be fair to Bursic, he's had a lot of stick. That looked a decent save. You've got a smile on your face, Scott Allen.
Just had a little bit of stick, to be fair, Kenny. But listen, I think obviously just seen it for the first time. That looks a great save, and that will do his confidence a world of good.
Still no breakthrough through at Tynecastle, Derek.
I'm afraid not, David. Just moments ago, Kelly.
Oh, it's 2-1. It's 2-1. Oh, he's given the free kick.
Well, I was thinking that when I saw it.
He's given the free kick. But the referee is standing right beside the incident. I think it's Saribi bundles into the back of Charles Dunn as the ball's going towards the goal. It looked a clear free kick. But for some reason, Stephen McLean allowed play to go on. I'm guessing it was because it was an attacking position. He has to let the play out just in case it's not a free kick. Clearly was a free kick. But anyway, Saribi chips the ball over the top of Balcombe. And then the referee blows for a free kick.
It was a nice finish.
Right, have a look for me again, please. Bayrami on Devlin. Does he stop? And then Bayrami charges into him. Is it in the box? It looked just inside. Referees having none of it again. This game is not really lit up yet in terms of technicality, but controversy, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we are loving it, no doubt at all about that, but still waiting on the first goal up there at Pittodrie. Again, we're not seeing a replay of that in the studio. We've got all the games coming in. A reminder, we're on the iPlayer, we're on the BBC Scotland channel right now. We are with you right through until the final whistle at Pittodrie on the television. We'll continue on the radio and sports trying to bring you post-match reaction to these big games in the Scottish Premiership this evening. Let's get back to Rory Lloyd. Decent game for you again this evening, Rory.
Sorry, what was that, Kenny?
A decent game for you there.
Yeah, it's decent. It is decent. A couple of good goals. Stephen O'Donnell did actually limp off as well. He was under a little bit of pressure from Dolby, but it looked a sore one, and you could tell he knew something had maybe went in his knee. So he limped off, unfortunately for him, and Shane Blaney has come on to replace him. But yeah, it's picked up. Dundee United, since I've said they're happy to give the ball up, I don't think Motherwell have had a touch. But no, it's been an entertaining game. It has. There's always chances when Dundee United play, and they've managed to take one each so far, and that is the score.
The home fans a bit frustrated there at Celtic Park.
Oh, chance! Oh! Aberdeen have had a spell! And I think is it Nicky Devlin it is, who's absolutely smashed it high into the net to put them in front. It was just a cross from the left. Everybody missed it. Devlin presented with the chance, and my word, does he take it. Smashes it high into the net. Aberdeen deservedly in front. It's Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0.
He's rifled that home, hasn't he? He's absolutely gobbled it up. But the amount of space, Dodsey. The defender, where was the Rangers' defence?
They're
gone missing.
Yeah, goal for Hearts.
Yes, Derek.
Finally a bit of quality. Oh, it was brilliant with Vargas. Down the right hand side, squares it. Well, cuts it back into Shanklin. And I tell you what, everybody I think the stadium thinks he's going to hit it, but he's clever in the way. He just shapes the shoot, just slides into Forrest. I tell you what, he just slams into the top right hand corner. It's a brilliant goal. It's the best move of the game. It's been lacking in quality for most part, but that was a class goal. Hearts take the lead.
Yeah, let's talk about the Hearts goal first of all.
Sorry, I was just watching the Rangers goal.
Right, take that away first then. Right.
Sorry, the Rangers goal there. Two Rangers players turn their back. Ball comes in the box, too easily beat. Lose the first contact, and I think it's Casemiro turns his back. Listen, Rangers fans ain't going to be happy with how they've defended that, but it's a fantastic finish.
It's a great finish. It's a brilliant finish.
Oh, chance! Post! I'm not sure. Is it Shinnie with a right foot shot? This game is really taking off. Shinnie just drops to him edge of the box, hits it into the ground. Goalkeeper's beaten, thuds off the post. Incredible stuff, really is.
I Kenny, that clever bit of play wasn't Shanklin, it was actually Spittle, one of my favourite players actually, because it looked as if he was just going to shape to hit. I think most players would, but he was clever enough just to see Forrest in a better position, and as soon as he slid it into him, what a finish.
Half-time, Celtic 0, Dundee 0.
Thanks, Martin. Yeah, frustration for the home fans there. There was so much possession. Not too many clear-cut chances apart from that fantastic opportunity for Kyogo early on that he dragged his shot wide. But it looks like Rangers really hanging on up there at Pittodrie, Billy.
Oh, they are. I mean, Aberdeen can smell blood. Simple as that. And then with Shinnie's shot. And they had a spell before that where it looks all right, they're getting the better of them now, they're really getting into positions, they get a goal, they're unlucky not to be 2 up. There have been a few controversial decisions. This game has taken off now. Not just controversy, but even the finish and the goals, you said, and they should have rifled home. Here's Duke on the left going through. They can't get a shot. It's dropping to Aberdeen. Have got so much room. I don't know where. Here's Chad Duke blocked. This is. I don't know
defensively
where. Especially you're talking defensively, Scott, but midfield. The midfield have disappeared because when the ball comes back out, it's Nielsen it's picking up, it's Shinnie it's picking up, and no Rangers midfield there at all.
But they're so timid. In the collisions, Rangers are so timid. They've been brushed off the ball by Aberdeen, who are showing way more hunger, way more stomach for the fight.
You're seeing the best version of Duke tonight because he is absolutely buffing Tavernier all over the place.
This is a real test of character now, isn't it, Julie, for these Rangers players?
Yeah, they have to dig deep. They have to get together as a group now. They're defensively all over the place. They're not backing each other up. They need to regroup. They need the leaders to pull themselves together to get this team united again.
Who are they though, Julie? Who are the leaders?
Well, you would think it'd be your captain.
The captain's just been bossed off the ball twice, as Doddsy says, and his duels with Duke. And I know Duke's a strong boy, but he's got to do better than that. The defending for the goal is horrific, Doddsy. Wait, you see it back. It's shocking.
Devlin just turns and it's too easy to put the ball in. Then nobody picks Keskin up. He flicks ahead on it, falls to Devlin. It's fallen to Aberdeen players time after time. And if it's not forwards, it's the midfielders that's picking up at the edge of the box. And Rangers just look as if they're wobbling.
Billy, what's the atmosphere? It sounds terrific coming through.
You knew that was going to happen. And with Conor Barron coming back here. I've not seen Aberdeen fans up for it like this for a long time. Seriously, they've contended every free kick, every push, every tackle, and then when they get the goals, they've just hit the roof.
Right, still playing at Tannadice, Rory.
Yes, it is. Dundee United have got a dangerous free kick, kind of right on the edge of the box, on a slight angle. It'll either be Glenn Middleton with his left or David Babinski with his right. 5 minutes added on, there's a couple left, so there's going to be a chance here. It's going to be Glenn Middleton with his left. Oh! It moves in the air. The keeper makes the save, and Dundee United get the corner. Still one each.
Right, still playing in Dingwall, Robbo.
No, it's half-time. Ages ago, shouted in, yeah.
So I didn't get that. So goalless up there. Big night you feel for David Gray. Hibs desperately in need of a result, but County very decent at home. And looking through in Paisley, an injury there.
Yeah, it's Charles Dunn. He had a clash with, I think it was Saribi on the far side. He lunged in a little bit, Charles Dunn, and I think he's nicked his hamstring. Richard Taylor, who's just back after a hernia up, I think he's back on the bench for the first time in a while. He's getting ready to come on, but we're probably about a minute. Well, we had about a minute to go, but obviously with a stoppage, we'll probably still have another minute or two left.
Right, and still game going on there at Tynecastle. Derek.
Yep, still Hearts 1 up deservedly. So it hasn't been the greatest for most part, but I tell you what, the goal's a thing of beauty.
Tell you what, there's a VAR shout here.
Yeah, there is a VAR shout.
It looks a shout as well.
Half time, Kenny.
Thanks, Derek. So 1-0 to Hearts. There's
He's
a great
having a
move.
look, John
right.
Beaton.
So tell us what's happened. Tell us what happened, Dodgy.
Everybody was playing on, and it just stopped, and he was in the middle. He was talking to the VAR team, Don Robertson.
John Suter's arm, yeah.
Right, you guys
they must be checking. That's what I was thinking. They must be checking a penalty. Aberdeen fans turning round, just staring up at the monitors behind me in the hospitality boxes. They think it's going to be a penalty. Duke's got the ball.
Half time at Tannadice, one each.
Thanks,
you can
Rory.
tell me better.
Right, here a better angle here. I hope. Here we go now. Oh, his arm's out, isn't it?
You can see it starts. He's got his two arms behind his back initially.
Yeah,
and
I can see it.
I
think he's going to give this.
Would you give it, Dodgy?
I think he's going to give it. I think his arm moves slightly to the ball. Looking at that,
I agree with you, Dodgy.
It looks like he moves his arm as he goes to head the ball.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just had a quick look at the screen in front of me. Why is he ducking down
to
head the ball?
Before
he can kick it with his left foot?
Good point, Chris.
Yeah, penalty given.
Yeah, the cheer tells you the full story up there. What a moment this could be for Aberdeen. Already a goal up thanks to that terrific finish from Nicky Devlin just past the half-hour mark. Remember, it's a 8 o'clock kick-off there at Pittodrie, so still time to go. We can see John Suter protesting on the screen there, but it's of no use to Rangers. Thanks to Stephen, one apiece through there in Paisley. St Johnson went ahead, St Mirren through a great equaliser through Scott Tanser, so one apiece in that game. And now we await this penalty at Pittodrie, Billy Dodds. This is a massive moment in this match and potentially a massive moment in the season.
Oh, it certainly is. I mean, Aberdeen have been sensational. They were the team pushing. They're right up for it. They get the goal. They hit the post, and now they get the penalty. And McGrath, you want a man with a bit of experience in this moment. He's been a good break, obviously, since he's gone to the screen. John Beaton, McGrath, he's looking at it. He's looking at the ref. He's blowing McGrath up. Saved! Oh my word, it is one of the worst penalties I have seen for a long time. Wait till you see this. I don't know if he's trying to do him with the eyes, if he's going to open up the body and put it to the other side, but he's closed his foot and he's tried to reverse it, and I'll tell you what, Butland has read him and just dropped on the ball. He could have put his cap on it.
That was a shocking penalty, wasn't it? You expect so much better from Jamie McGrath.
Yeah, he's normally so good from that distance. There's little pace, it's not anywhere near the corner.
It only looks good if it is in the back of the net.
He's duffed it. It's like one of my 7 irons. Absolutely duffed it.
He's side-footed it, Dodds.
Even when you duff
doesn't
it,
even
you hit it
reverse
better
through
than that. So, right, he's tried to, you know what he's trying to do, Scott? We've done it, and you see the modern day player practicing him. He's trying to open up the body, as if say, I'm putting it to your left, and then looking at him, and he just closed the foot and try to reverse it and send him the wrong way, and he's dribbled it to him.
I just wonder why, because he's usually so good in the penalty mark, isn't it, McGrath? I think it's some of the penalties he's scored for St Mirren.
I mean, technically very, very good. He must be that confident, but if he thinks he's going to send Butland the wrong way, listen, that's a big moment in the game, because 2-0 up, get into half time, maybe more, they're causing Rangers all sorts of problems. Not to take that could maybe come back to haunt them.
I mean, they could be 3-0 down here. Between the goal, shinny off the post, missed penalty, this game should be done.
If Rangers get it 1-0,
they'll be blessed.
Yeah.
It's a great heart from that, wouldn't they?
They're going to need to show heart in the second half, because they look so timid all over the park.
They've got away with it in the first half if it's just 1-0
so far.
But what have they got to throw back at Aberdeen? Nothing on the evidence in the first half.
No. Celtic 0, Dundee 0 half time. Also half time at Tannadice. Dundee United 1, Motherwell 1, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0, Ross County 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1, and quite remarkably, it should be more, Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0. We've got about 4 minutes to play until the break there. Billy Dodds, is there anything that Flake Clement will be looking to change tactically, change in terms of personnel when they come out for the second half?
I think he'll give them a rocket first and foremost and say you've got to show steel, you've got to show all the words, the character, the determination, because you're actually just bowing down to this Aberdeen team. They're just, I think somebody said it in the studio earlier on about you need leadership, and it's another word I said about lack of pace. But now they've got themselves into a situation where if they're losing games or if they're not playing well in games, we talked about the leadership qualities as well. So no pace, no leadership, and that's exactly what they've lacked tonight. When the going's got tough, they've needed somebody to give me the ball or fly into a tackle or just break something up and keep the ball, but they've not. They've actually just laying down, and Aberdeen have battered them for the last 15-20 minutes.
Remember the time we used to talk about the gap between Celtic and Rangers? Everyone's talking, is there a gap? How big is the gap? We're now talking how big is the gap between Aberdeen and Rangers, not to mind Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Aberdeen look so far ahead of Rangers on this evidence.
I'll tell you how they'll get a lift, and this is the scariest thing about the first half so far. They're going to get a lift because Aberdeen missed a penalty, and that's damning. That is damning, and they need more than that. They need their manager to stand up. They need to get ripped into them. They need to make sure that they're going to at least scrap and battle, even if they don't win the game. He needs to maybe make a couple of changes, or as you say, Kenny, a tweak. But right now, it ain't happening.
See, in terms we talk about mentality of football players, and Dodgy will tell you, you know when you're getting beat 1-0 if you're in a game, and you know if you're getting beat 1-0 where you're losing duels all over the park and you feel inferior. That looks like the Rangers players feel inferior to Aberdeen at this moment, physically all over the park. And what that could do for Aberdeen come the end of this game, if they win this in this manner, could have a damning effect on Rangers this season, I think.
I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a few weeks now, and we covered a lot of games in the days of Michael Beale. It was toxic at Ibrox, I think it's fair to say, and you just feel now the return of these days is perhaps not too far away, because I said earlier on, Tommy, if social media is any sort of guidance, and and some of the reaction at the games as well, things are turning there in terms of the manager, I feel.
Well, the thing about it is, I mean, Rangers will never accept that Celtic are better than them, not publicly anyway. But they for sure won't accept that Aberdeen are better than them, and they are.
On this showing, Aberdeen look a far better team than Rangers all over the park.
In every position.
Yeah.
If you were picking a combined 11 now, it'd be 11.
Right,
Willie Miller was right on and on.
Yeah, we'll hopefully hear from Willie Miller.
So that, as you say, the toxicity of that. If this continues and it peters out and Aberdeen get a second maybe, or even just win 1-0, that physically dominating, as Scott says, this game, the Rangers fans are going to go thermonuclear because they're being bossed in this game.
Well, looking at the live table, Aberdeen top, 28 points, Celtic 26, Rangers 19 points, 9 points off Aberdeen as things stand. Dundee United 16, Motherwell 14, St Johnstone, they make up the top 6 with 11 points, County also in 11, Dundee 10, Hearts, St Mirren and Kilmarnock all on 9 points. Hibs remain bottom of the live table with 7 points. Another chance here, Dodgy.
It's sort of so shaky. Class of clearance straight to Mackenzie, and as I said, nobody from Rangers picking up the ball. Mackenzie picks up 25 yards out, half volley, brilliant strike. Butland has to beat it away.
Right, that one kicked off. That kicked off 8 o'clock. Let's just quickly scoot round the 7:45 starts. The other option of commentary this evening comes from Celtic Park. Celtic at home to Dundee. Let's get a quick half-time report from Martin Dowden. You there, Martin? Right, problem with Martin. Let's go to Tynecastle next. Derek Ferguson.
Yes, Kenny. Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0 at the moment. The first half hour certainly it was pretty scrappy at times, but it was a home side that were forcing the issue. Spittle did have an effort. He went close, and 10 minutes in, a shot from 20 yards out. McCrory saving well down to his left-hand side. Then there was a Devlin strike. Again, it was from distance, taking a deflection, but just going wide of the targets. Kelly were really struggling in attack. They produced their best moment on 37 minutes. It was a Kennedy corner, finding Armstrong working at the edge of the box, but his strike comfortably saved by Gordon in goal. For most part, there was a real lack of quality, but it all changed in 44 minutes. It was a lovely move down the right-hand side. Vargas forcing the issue, then squaring the ball back to Spittle. Everyone in the stadium think he's going to hit it, including myself, but no, he played a clever pass to Alan Forrest, just lurking that left-hand side to smash into the top right-hand corner. So it's Hearts forcing the issue, deservedly 1-0 up. It's Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0.
Yeah, great timing, Derek. Just seen a replay, a fantastic finish, a great move, finished off wonderfully by Alan Forrest. Next stop, Tannadice, Dundee United at home to Motherwell. Let's hear from Rory Loy.
Yeah, it's all square at half-time here at Tannadice. The visitors took the lead in 22 minutes when Lennon Miller faked to shoot from a free kick, dinked it to the back post, over Declan Gallagher's head. Casey arrived on it, headed across the goal, and Maswanisi scuffed it home for 1-0. Trafanovski did reply up the other end with a shot, however Oxborough saved it. Stephen O'Donnell limped off with an injury. It was replaced by Shane Blaney, and then on 34 minutes it was Trafanovski down the left hand side. He dinked it in, and Sam Dolby applied the finish with the header. In 37 minutes, Lucas Stevenson down the right hand side, he crossed in, Oxborough flapped at it, and Ferry was presented with an opportunity, but he didn't catch his shot particularly well. And then right on half time, Middleton had a free kick which was well saved by Oxborough. So all to play for in the second half, one apiece here at Tannadice.
And all to play for at Celtic Park, Martin Dowden.
Yeah, half time, Celtic 0, Dundee 0. Job done for Dundee so far. They're stuck so well to the game plan, just closing off spaces and angles around the area. They really are frustrating Celtic. It was Tony Docherty's side who threatened first.
Oh, he's offside. My word, that would have been some turn around for Rangers. They have offered nothing in the game. Bayrami does brilliantly, a run down the left, in the box, crosses it. McCausland is 2 yards out, taps in the net, and the linesman's flag goes up just as he pops it into the net. Big let off for Aberdeen.
First instinct there in the studio?
I think it's the initial pass to Dessers. I think that they'll have flagged them offside. It does look tight though when you see it there.
It is tight.
Having a look.
What about the one that was crossed over? Was he behind him? McCausland. Just trying to see when the ball goes back into McCausland. I'm just trying to see. He is. Is that not quite tight as well?
Two of them are tight.
Yeah. Right, so we've got to check there, Billy. This is a big moment.
It's 4 minutes injury time as well. So
yeah.
I need a cup of tea, lads. Honestly, this is. I mean, it's been
brilliant,
incredible. Isn't it? Yeah, and it's been. It's another one like the Aberdeen penalty, where they're taking their time. He's listening to Don Robertson and VAR. They're having a look. The Aberdeen fans have gone quiet, obviously. Offside given.
Offside, yeah.
They got away with one, Aberdeen.
Okay.
That would have been some lift for Rangers.
Yeah, it would have been. So 4 minutes of injury time to go. They'll get back to Billy Dodds. Back to you, Martin.
Seeing there, Dundee had the first chance. It was Portales rather, who hooked a shot towards goal. Schmeichel did really well to tip that behind for a corner. From there, absolutely nothing at all for Dundee going forward. Almost entirely one way for Celtic. Hugo had an effort well saved, and then unusually absolutely fluffed his line, was clean in, just snatched at the ball when he had a lot more time than he thought, and he ought to have scored that one. Celtic have probed and probed, camped in Dundee's half, but mainly been restricted to shots from distance. Delivery from the wings not quite there from Yang and Palmer, who started tonight. Bernardo had one chance, but really a half chance from about 22 yards out. Created space, struck it just by the post. They can't create that clear opening. Dundee working ever so hard. Whether they can sustain that or not, we'll see. But I suspect it won't be long before Brendan Rodgers looks to that strength he's got sitting on the bench right now. Just underway in the second half, 0-0, Celtic Dundee.
Next up, Paisley, Battle of the Saints. Let's hear from Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, Kenny, put plenty of action, that's for sure. 2 goals scored and 2 goals disallowed by VAR, and it was the away side that took the lead after 11 minutes. It was Adama Sidibe got on the end of a Kyle Cameron knockdown from a set play, and I think Ellery Balcombe will be disappointed with his part he played in it. But at that stage then, it was the visitors who were dictating the play. We thought it was 2-0. Only a matter of moments later, it was Benjamin Kimpioka who had a goal ruled out for offside. This time Cameron, who headed it to him once again, was offside, and it was a right call from VAR. The Saints got level, the home Saints, that is St Mirren. Scott Tanzer with a wonderful goal on this right hand side. He was involved with the corner kick and the ball came back to him, and he just bent it into the far left hand corner past Ross Sinclair. Marcus Fraser came close with a header. Toyosi Olasanya also fizzed one wide, and the second goal ruled out for offside was this time with Charles Dunn. A foul once again by Sidibe. He chipped Ellery Balcombe, but Stephen McLean was right. Checked with VAR, goal ruled out for offside. So the game is finally poised here in Paisley. It's St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1.
Thanks to Stephen Craigan. Just a reminder, they're back underway at Celtic Park in the second half. If you want to hear commentary of that one, Celtic against Dundee with Pat Bonner and Stuart Mitchell. That's available online only at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. All the games are live on Open All Mics, including the one in Dingwall, Ross County at home to Hibs. Let's hear from John Robertson.
Yeah, it's finally poised here as well. It's 0-0, and we're well on their way in the second half here. County started to sharper the two teams, but nothing really to show for it. A long range shot from Chilvers was well wide. Hibs slowly passed themselves back into the game and created a really half decent chance. Junior Hoylett went down the right hand side, his shot hit the side net, and then Jordan Abita had a wonderful left footed strike from 25 yards that Laidlaw had to do really well to save. Then right on half time, the closest we came, a free kick for County thrown there. Big Jordan White got up and bulleted a header towards Bursik's top left hand corner. The Hibs keeper got across and parried out. We're into 5 minutes of second half. Eli Ewan had a chance within 60 seconds. He cut in, fired over the bar, but so far it's still Ross County 0, Hibernian 0.
Thanks to John Robertson. So Celtic 0, Dundee 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 1, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0, Ross County 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1, and half time up at Torging. A fantastic first half here, Billy Dodds. Aberdeen with the advantage.
Oh, not half. I mean, it's had everything: intensity, atmosphere, controversy, and it all started in 3 minutes. Dessers to McCausland, they combined, and Dessers cut it back. Devlin, and when he hit his shot, Devlin had to block. Into the 10th minute, Aberdeen, it was their turn to attack. Sockler pressuring Balogun. He made the mistake. The cut back found McGrath, and somehow Butland saved his shot. Broke to Devlin again at the edge of the box, and he curled it wide. Then the controversy came, 3 big talking points. Balogun injured as Mackenzie was going through and goal, and John Beaton stopped play, pulled it back for a head knock. Then the pass through set Sockler. It looks as if he was going to go through 1-on-1, and he was wiped out by Balogun. Seemed to get a touch on the ball. Good call by John Beaton. Bayrami then pushed Devlin, and no penalty given. But Aberdeen were on top at this point. They were pushing and finding good space, especially edge of the box. No Rangers midfielders in show. Mackenzie found the ball on the left hand side. His cross found Keskin, and he flicked it, fell to Devlin at the back post, and he rifled home. 2 minutes later, could have been 2, should have been 2. Shinnie hit it into the ground. Butland was just staring at it, and it ended up scalping off the post. And just before half time, Aberdeen, they let Rangers off the hook. It was a VAR review. Suter looked as if he had moved his arm to the ball. A penalty was given, and Jamie McGrath probably hit the worst penalty of the season, probably the worst penalty he could ever hit in his life, and he rolled it back to Butland, tried to give him the eyes. Rangers, well, they thought they were level at half time. That would have been a get out of jail free card when Bayrami drove down the left, drove it across the goal. McCausland tapped it in, and the referee or the linesman put the flag up. It went to VAR. It was a close one, but it was ruled out. It's been some first half. Aberdeen deservedly in front. At half time, it's Aberdeen 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, Billy, just looking at the pictures coming in, and we're seeing yourself on the screen, and obviously hearing the noise coming through. And this game for me just typifies why we love Scottish football. The passion, the drama, the energy. It just had everything, that game tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, and that's what it was all about for the first 15. We were waiting for something to happen. There was a lot of free kicks. You can imagine the atmosphere in here. We're making players do things they don't normally do, but they were giving away free kicks. It was breaking up, and then it took off, and Aberdeen realised they smelt blood. They got the goal. They were pressing. They should have got the second. Then they got the penalty. They miss it, and it's coming from the Aberdeen crowd. The team are feeding off them. Rangers, Kenny, they have to find a way. If it comes from the manager, who it should, then he's got to be into them. He's got to make changes, but something's got to happen. Even if they don't win this game, they have got to change their mentality and show they're going to scrap for a goal or try and get back in it, because the fans won't be happy if it stays like this and Aberdeen score again, or even if it stays 1-0 and this is this type of second half showing. I think the Rangers fans are in the edge of anarchy, and that's where they're at. Get into the second half.
Yeah, we'll hear from the managers post-match and all the games tonight. Incredible drama there at Celtic Park, Martin Dowden.
Unbelievable chance for Celtic, or really it was 3. It was just blocked, it was saved. Absolutely fantastic save from McCracken, just diving up to his left to tip the ball away. Just before that, Luis Palma as well, sort of cut in from the left-hand side, curled one towards the far post. McCracken again, a brilliant save low down to tip it away for a corner, but Celtic definitely upping the intensity here as they probe, still 0-0.
Jim Newlands on Twitter. First time I've tuned in to the TV coverage of Sports Sound. It's a great idea, especially for nights like this. Looking forward to a really good night of action. Jim, it's been terrific. We're on the BBC Scotland channel right now. You can also find us on the iPlayer. So on television, we're on until the final whistle at the game at Pittodrie. We remain on the radio to bring you, of course, post-match reaction on Sports Sound. It's going to be really interesting, Tom English, to hear some of the comments from the manager if things stay as they are right now.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking at the stats from Celtic. Dundee, 81.7% possession, Celtic.
It's incredible.
16 shots. Only 3 on target, though, you know. So they're kind of 28 touches in the Dundee box, 4 touches for Dundee in the Celtic box. It's one-way traffic, apart from on the scoreboard.
Yeah, it's just one of these games, Scott. Every time I look up, we've got all the screens, of course, but every time I look up, as Martin said, you just see Celtic on the attack. But the longer this game goes on, the crowd get a bit edgy, Dundee get more and more belief.
Yeah, they do get more belief, but I think it's hard to put on that sort of defensive display for 90 minutes against this Celtic team, and they can make changes, but then start stretching it. Fatigue kicks in unless you make some changes and they come on, but you're then hoping that nobody switches off and Dundee can hang on from their point of view. But you fully expect Celtic to find a way through this at some stage.
Let's bounce around the grounds again. Let's start at Tynecastle. Hearts at home to Kilmarnock. Back underway there, Derek.
Yeah, and they're on the front foot. A real strong start to the second half. A little bit surprised. I thought might get a little bit of a reaction from Kilmarnock, but no, they've started really strong, forcing the question. There's a corner kick whipped in. It just bounces Boateng with a strike, but plenty of bodies in there. It looks as if it's going one way, and that one way is a second goal for Hearts, because again they've been slack for the most part. Really surprising. I thought they would have had more of a go, but they're dominating possession. They look the most likely to create things, and you know they're producing a little bit of pressure. Kilmarnock, they're standing up to at the moment, but I just think it's a matter of time before they get the second. Hearts.
Yeah, let's get back to Tannadice. Rory Loy's watching that game. Dundee United against Motherwell. What's happening in the early stages of the second half, Rory?
Motherwell have started well. Masaniwa had a wee half a chance there. He could have lifted his head and played on his teammate, but he decided not to, and he shot over the bar. Other than that, the only thing I've noticed is, obviously I mentioned Stephen O'Donnell went off. One thing I didn't notice that 18-year-old Lennon Miller is now wearing the captain's armband, so a nice moment for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah,
what
you gave us a wee insight. You met him, you did a bit of work with him. You gave us an insight into the personality at that point. We can see the ability, but the personality, the leadership is clearly there.
We can cut in, Kenny. We've got a VAR check here
right, okay.
for handball, so just to let you know.
Right, okay, and chance for you, Stephen.
Yeah, it was. It was actually a cross from Killian Phillips. And Ross Sinclair in goal completely misjudged it, and it crashes off the crossbar, the angle of the crossbar of the post. It then falls to Olasanya, who cuts inside and has a shot, and it's deflected wide. St Mirren have started the half really strongly, so it was almost a bit of good fortune that put St Mirren in front.
Right, what's happening there, Derek?
No penalty, no penalty, but Shanklin just there on the half ball, edge of the box, just drives one in, just always rising above that right-hand post bar, sorry. But it's all Hearts at the moment. Surely there's got to be a reaction from Kilmarnock. You look at the quality of player they've got, should be expecting a little bit more, but yeah, Hearts in the driving seat.
Yeah, difficult place to go, Tynecastle. Scott, in terms of Lennon Miller, you were just giving us a wee insight into the character of the boy.
Yeah, I think that tells you what his manager, coaches and teammates think of him. The fact he's come out with that armband on. I also think it probably has another £1 million to his price tag at Motherwell aren't daft. But seriously, that tells you everything you need to know, that he's the go-to man in that Motherwell side.
And you believe he's going to really go places?
Yeah, I think for me, big talent. I think his next move, which will come at some point, it will be very important he picks the right team, but bags and bags of ability and composure.
Scott, you've played obviously for a lot of big clubs up here and down south. Where would you like to see him go? Where do you think would be best for him to go?
Really good question.
Somewhere where he's going to play, he's going to continue to play and continue to progress.
I think Derek's in best position to tell you that. He's obviously with his own son, obviously going across there.
Yeah, I think
he's the best placed.
But even with Lewis with Aberdeen, I just think it's important because he is a top player. You can see that there's a bit of class about him, but I think it's really important that he keeps playing. Sometimes you can go to these big teams and you can become a bit part player. I just, whether they can come to some arrangement that whether some club does buy him, then he can see out the remainder of the season or the next season even at Motherwell. But it's important that Lennon keeps playing football.
Are you thinking, Derek, that the next move should be similar to Lewis, to a bigger club in Scotland and then potentially move on abroad? Is that a thing you're thinking for him, or do you think his next move is going to be away from Scotland?
Well, I can only talk about Lewis in terms it was a great pathway. I mean, when he was going to Aberdeen, first of all I looked at who was not just the manager but who was in the backroom staff, and there was a few ex-midfielders, good players, but more importantly good people, and I knew he'd be looked after really well. I didn't expect Lewis to make the breakthrough quite as quick, but he did, and he played a good number of games, and I think that's important with Lennon, that whatever club that he chooses, pick it carefully in terms of keep playing, keep progressing, because there's one thing for sure, he's going to the top of the game.
Kenny, I'm not sure anybody in Scotland would pay the money that Motherwell are potentially looking for.
Really?
Well, you look at Celtic, their biggest outlay to a Scottish player, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, Scott Brown for £4 million all those years ago. So I don't imagine they're going to go and spend £6 million on Lennon Miller. I wouldn't have thought so.
Is that the sort of money you're talking
what
about?
Would it take, Stephen?
Yeah.
Well, I know that's a hard one to say.
Because if I know, listen, Rangers are desperate for players, right?
But they couldn't afford, that.
What Rangers should be doing, and it's probably too late now for Lennon Miller, they should be hoovering up all of the best young players in Scotland to build a new team.
Yeah, because that could be an investment then.
Motherwell will want a penalty, just have a quick look.
You develop the player.
Yeah.
Right, okay, we'll just have a quick look and I'll pick this up.
A hand
it's
went
interesting.
out and it certainly hit Kevin Holt's hand, I think it was.
Right.
Whether it was in the box, whether it was out the box is maybe another question, but it looked like his arm was out and it did hit his arm from where I could see, so it'd be interesting to see if the referee is asked to go and have a look.
Right, here we go now. Hope it's a good angle. Didn't see anything there, did you?
Really, no.
No, is it still been checked, Rory, or is there any announcement? Or
not currently at the moment. The corner's still not been taken. Did it not hit his hand?
I just listen. We've got, as you know, we'll get the 6 screens in here. So I've just had a quick look there. It's the screen nearest to me. But no, you're back underway, aren't you?
Yeah, we're back underway. There's no penalty, but I was convinced it hit his hand.
Right, what we're talking about for Lennon Miller, are you suggesting then that more than £4 million, that's what it would take?
Well, certainly in and around the £4 million figure with add-ons to go on top of that. But remember, if you're getting someone at 18 or 19, that investment could be for the next 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
Or it could be for 2 years and he gets better again and you could sell him like Celtic have done with so many players for 8, 9, 10 million. So there's definitely a move plus another move potentially on top of that. So I think it would be a wise investment. I'm not too sure Celtic would spend the money.
I think as well, if you look at Miovski and what Aberdeen sold him for, when you consider Lennon Miller's doing, similar to what Miovski was doing, he's playing every week in a different position. He's not scoring the goals, so maybe he's not grabbing the headlines from that point of view. But £9 million or whatever it was, 8.5 for Miovski. I absolutely agree with Stephen. I think Motherwell should be asking for every penny they can get, in the millions and millions, because it is a huge investment.
I think it's safe to say that they will be asking for every penny they can get. They will. It's a fait accompli that he's going to leave.
No, but you know what I mean, Tom, because there's a lot of clubs these days who, almost price a player out of a move by the time the agent's cut in and this is cut in and that's cut in. But what I mean by that is Motherwell should stand firm and not accept any derisory bids. They should stand firm like Aberdeen did with Miovski.
Oh, I think they will. And we talk about Lennon Miller, and he's obviously exceptional. Ewan Wilson, 19 years of age as well. I love the fact that we talked about all the lack of young Scottish players in the game. There's two of them.
Goal Celtic.
Right, Martin.
It's Celtic 1, Dundee 0, and it's one of the substitutes, 3 brought on by Brendan Rodgers just a couple of minutes ago. It's Alistair Johnston who slides in and just nets into the corner to get the breakthrough. Brendan Rodgers clearly had enough. He brought on Rio Itati, Dyson Maheda.
Goal!
Yes, Stephen.
It's goal for St Mirren. They win the ball back in St Johnston's half. I think it's Greg Kilty does incredible work defensively, turns the ball over, plays it down the right hand side to Killian Phillips. He goes to the byline, stands it up to the back post, and is it Scott Tanzer for the second goal? I couldn't see who got the goal, but certainly it's big celebrations here. A lot of relief around St Mirren Park, and it's 2-1 to the home side.
Right, just stay with us. We'll bring some clarity on that. Time again to give you the option of commentary from Pittodrie. Aberdeen against Rangers. That was with Willie Miller and Liam McLeod. You can hear that on Radio Scotland Extra, online and digital right now. Thank you for staying with us on Open All Mic. So that goal,
Mark O'Hara, Kenny,
Mark O'Hara. That's St Mirren coming from behind there in Paisley, and Celtic eventually, Martin, getting the breakthrough home to Dundee.
Yeah, as I was saying, just Brendan Rodgers had just made a triple change. Hitati, Maeda and Alistair Johnson all on for Palmer, Bernardo and Ralston. Within a few minutes, it's Alistair Johnson, goal machine.
Chance, goal! Goal for Kelly. They've not been in it, but I tell you what, it's Vassell. Out muscles a couple of defenders, the ball breaks to Kennedy. I tell you what a strike it is, by the way, because the ball, it's an awkward height as well. He has to get the hip over it, the knee over it. He strikes it beautifully. Gordon, absolutely no chance. One each.
Deserved? Maybe not.
I don't think so, no. I think that's kind of against the run of play. I think it's been all hearts in this game, both first half and the start of the second half. So Kelly will be delighted to get that goal when they probably don't deserve it.
Yep, totally agree with that. Absolutely bang on. But sometimes, Hearts have been pushing and pushing. If they get the second, you just think they're going to go on and win it pretty comfortably. But I think don't tell me there's a check as well.
Oh, there usually is. For a goal there always is.
Yeah,
I've not had another look. Here we are.
Yep. The referee.
Oh, what a finish.
Great finish, wasn't it?
What a finish.
Does so well to get over it.
Scotland appreciate that. Great technique, wasn't it? Brilliant technique.
Yeah, it was like the wee sidewinder on the volley.
Right, superb.
Yeah, Matt, you're just waiting for confirmation that check is over. I don't see too much to check on that, I have to say.
I think the tussle with Vassell, there was a coming together with a couple of Hearts defenders. I think it was Kent, but didn't see it. He's just using his physicality, his strength.
With the way you played the game, there was nothing in it.
No, it's changed days, isn't it?
It is, unfortunately.
Kent not great there. Physically.
Goal. Yeah, had to stand.
Yeah.
So one apiece through there. And still John Robertson will wait for a goal up in Dingle. Any sign at all?
You're still there, Robbo. He's not.
He's gone.
He's gone.
To be fair, yeah, sorry guys, I was just having a chit chat there. No, to be fair, second half, Hibs have come out, started really, really well. Joe Newell's getting on the ball, he's starting to create a few chances. We said 47 minutes, Eliuan smashing over, then Kuharevich got into just inside the box, blasted one over the bar, and Newell himself smacked one. And Hibs have been on top so much that Don Cowie has made a triple substitution. He's brought on Brophy, Samuel and Nisbet to try and get things going. Samuel nearly got the end of it. It was a mighty collision between him and Bursic, who came out his box to clear.
Penalty Celtic.
But still 0-0.
Right, Martin.
It's a break from deep inside their own half. Dundee thought he had won a foul. Mo Sullivan down. Arnie Engels ran the length of the park, tried to play in. Kyogo didn't quite pull it off, but the ball fell into his path, and it looked as though he was just clipped as he went to seize on it, and the penalty was given. Of course, it is being checked by VAR. Ross Hardy was absolutely convinced it was a penalty. I think he handed out a yellow card. Wasn't quite sure who caught Kyogo there, but it is being checked.
Yeah, just watching it here, so he goes through. It's not a good angle for us, that, unfortunately. Might get another one. Scott, it's hard to tell, isn't it?
Rangers should be level.
Nah, it looks like he gets a touch on the ball for me.
Right, big chance there at Pittodrie, Billy.
Rangers should be level. It's a short corner, and then it's swung in by Lawrence to the back post. And I think it was, you can maybe check for me, I think it was Balogun that just got a flick on it. Maybe Sterling, who's come on as a sub. McCausland's gone off, but it just scrapes the post.
Off, yeah.
Any contact on the ball, the ball's in the net.
Probably should have scored, Julie, shouldn't he?
Chance for Kelly. He looks like he's just trying to glance his header and he doesn't get enough on it.
Right, chance for Kelly.
No, it was a chance. Yeah, it just shows you how a goal can change things. They look a little bit rattled now, Hearts, and it was good play from Watkins, just finding Vassell. He's coming in at pace, he's at the angle. Always a difficult one, he just skies it well over the bar, but he just had a little bit more control in the shot. Might have had a better outcome, but certainly Kelly back in it now, won a piece and looking to get themselves forward.
Penalty given.
Kenny, that is the last time I'll ever listen to you. Yeah, it appears the penalty.
Scott Allen's agreeing with me here.
It's the angle behind the goal, I think, that looks like he kind of grabs hold of him.
Scott, back me up.
That looked like a penalty.
No. It didn't look it, but you know what? There's small screens in here, and we only get one quick look at one angle, because you saw that earlier on with the Balogun one. You think he's cleaned him out. Another angle looks like maybe a slight touch.
I think it's
it's soft still.
I think it's soft, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Right, so Arnie Engels with this one, Martin.
Yeah, soft or not, it is Arnie Engels who is stepping up. Ross Hardy just checking everything's in place. Everyone's where they should be. Engels against McCracken, and this would surely seal 3 points for Celtic and continue their unbeaten start. Here he goes, and it's straight down the middle. McCracken beaten. Engels so cool with his finish. It's Celtic 2, Dundee 0.
Yeah, it was difficult for Celtic. Dundee made it difficult for them in the first half there, but Celtic now, after these substitutions from Brendan Rodgers, totally in control of that game there at Celtic Park. Is that some changes been made up there at Pittodrie, Billy?
Just one, Kenny. I said that Drew's on, Sterling's on for Ross McCausland. I don't know if it's tactical or maybe just to stop or help Tavernier with Duke, or McCausland's on a yellow card. Rangers have started better, should have had that equaliser from the corner.
They've gone up!
Yes,
crazy. Come on, they're in lead. Vassell, it's a long throw into the box. Hearts don't deal with it. It's bobbling about that 6-yard box. There's Vassell, on the spin. Hits it hard, past the keeper. No chance. I tell you, they've not been in it, Kenny. It's football. It's a crazy old game. Hearts, for the most part, dominating possession, the ball, chances. They get an equaliser and then they just fancy it. So they're in the lead now. It's 2-1 Kelly.
Yeah, seen big celebrations behind the goal there. The travelling support delighted. They're decent numbers by the looks of it.
It's a great crowd in here. Full house, it looks like.
Yeah. I think they only got about 600 or 800 fans, I think, the way support now at
cakes are no bad as well, Kenny. Supplied by Mr. Mackay.
Oh, lovely.
One of my old teammates.
Oh, very nice.
He's looking too good. He's looking well. We'll find out what he's up to.
Right, so Kilmarnock have turned things around there through Tynecastle.
Some of the defending tonight has been absolutely lamentable. And that's another one.
It's brilliant striker play
he's
from
turned
Vassell.
well, but I mean, like
he's strong, he holds them off, but yeah. I agree with you, Tom. He should get the opportunity.
He must be a nightmare to play against. He is so strong, isn't he?
Yeah, that's both goals. He's used his physicality to boss the centre back, and yeah, the second one, the one where he puts in the net, he holds them off really well. But from a Hearts point of view, you'll be absolutely raging at the defending.
Oh, it's a dodgy little tackle there.
It's 3-1! 3-1! What a goal from St Mirren! I will say there may be a foul in the build-up. I don't know. There was a complaint from the St Johnstone players, but it's Killian Phillips. He wins the ball in his own half. He plays it to Greg Kiltie. He just keeps on running. He runs and Kiltie comes behind him. Kiltie feeds him in, takes a touch with his right foot and puts it through the legs of Ross Sinclair. And St Mirren have hounded, they've harassed They're like men possessed tonight, chasing St Johnstone down, and they lead by 3-1, pending a VAR check.
Yeah, it's amazing. My wee fellow was there supporting them at Ibrox on Sunday, and he definitely came home really disappointed, Scott, that they didn't take something from that game. They were right in that game at Ibrox, and you just feel, as Stephen was saying, that perhaps just things turning now for St Mirren.
Yeah, sometimes it takes one of the games where it all goes for you. I think there's been chances for St Johnstone in the first half, but St Mirren have been clinical. I think it sounds like a great game there as well, to be fair. Mark O'Hara, obviously a big player for St Mirren, getting the goal before, but that's a fantastic goal. Great finish from.
There is a check. It's just been announced. There is a VAR check. I think it was Killian Phillips, possibly won it off Nicky Clark. Maybe. I wasn't sure if he pulled his arm or not, and he's just showed the screen. So clearly it is a foul. Stephen McLean's making his way over. It's going to stay at 2-1, I would imagine.
Oh, right, okay. Right. It's unfortunate that, because you're right, it was a good goal. Yeah, well taken. Let's scoot around the grounds again. Let's get to Rory. We've not heard from you for a while, Rory.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, Kenny. It's not been great. Although the handball from earlier, I felt like I was losing my mind. It was crossed in, and it was a handball, but it was just outside the box. So it was a factual thing, so the referee would have been informed straight away. So I wasn't seeing things. It was just
apologies, we just missed it.
It was just outside the box. No, you're quite all right. It was just I was starting to doubt myself there, but no, it's not been great at all, Kenny. This second half, it's been really scrappy, not a lot of quality on show at all. I still believe there's another goal or two in it for whatever team wants to take the game with the scruff of the neck, but yeah, there's not been a lot to report on, to be honest. Still
right. The goal's been disallowed, Kenny.
Yeah.
The third goal disallowed tonight from VAR. Incredible here. But you're right, what a goal it would have been and what a goal it could have been.
It was a jersey pull earlier on in the move, I think, Stephen.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I noticed it right away, and the referee standing beside it, so if I can see it from 30 yards away, surely he can see it from 2 yards.
Billy Dog's going to be a bit quiet up there at the
Obviously Rangers should have been level, missed a chance. They've been slightly better. Aberdeen then forced a corner, and they're making a change. Aberdeen have a couple of players booked. McKenzie went into the book, and Nielsen went into the book, so they've got to be careful. But Aberdeen now making a change. Duke's gone off a wee bit. He's been good, but Keskinen going over to the other side, and it's Shayden Morris coming on. So
can you believe Shayden Morris? I mean, I try to think the word that I quoted back to Willie when you were alongside him on Saturday evening, Billy, and I said, if someone had said to you last season you'd be using that sort of language with Shayden Morris, you'd have said you were crazy. But the turnaround in this boy has been incredible this season, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think he's one of the quickest over 5-10 yards I've seen for a long time. He needed nurtured, he needed coached.
United want a penalty.
I think he's had that.
Right, okay, penalty check.
It's a pull on Babunski, the captain. The home crowd are up in arms and they're booing the referees. You can probably hear now. It did look like there was a bit of a pull there, but he did go down quite dramatically. I don't know if Scott and Julie will get a good look at it, but it looked like it was potentially a tug.
Well, it's the TV closest to me, but I'm reluctant to say anything now. So, guys, I'll leave it to you. What do you think? Here we go now. Here we are.
Now.
It's certainly not been given anyway.
Right, just have
the
a
whole
look.
crowd over by the.
Far too easy.
Yeah.
Can I just ask Billy as well, with the goal coming down Tavernier's side and Nicky Devlin tucking it away, would he maybe change his mind from earlier on with the question?
Maybe, Rory, maybe you were saying about changing mind. I couldn't hear you there because of the atmosphere here. It's incredible, but change your mind because Tavernier get a bit of doing. Yes,
and Devlin stuck it in the net.
Yes, I mean, I mean, right now Devlin's having the better season. There's no doubt. I don't think we can forget how good Tavernier's been, though. But yeah, struggling. You're right. I'm not changing my mind, though.
Dodsey, has the missed penalty, how has that impacted on the atmosphere and the game in general?
Yeah, no, it's not impacted on the atmosphere, Tom, but I think it's made Aberdeen ponder whether it's the old rock and hard place where they really go for the jugular, or do we try and just make sure we're nice and solid to keep this 1-0 going. Rangers have been a bit better, not brilliant second half, but they've certainly been better. Aberdeen are just thinking about it a little bit now.
I think Aberdeen have done that a couple of times this season, haven't they? They went 2-0 up against Motherwell, back to 2-1, and then they hung on towards the end. Dundee away, 2-0 up, back to 2-1, hung on later on. So it's something they've done before and something they're comfortable with. So that wouldn't surprise me, Dodsey.
Yeah, we've got some clarification, I think, on the Celtic penalty. I think, Tom, I think something coming through. We get some guidance from the SFA, because you thought it was soft. I think we thought it was perhaps for a challenge taking them down, but I think
clear pull by the defender.
Clear pull, so it was a pull.
You can see the angle from behind the goal. You can see there's a pull, but from behind the player, from when you're looking on at it, it was very difficult to see. But certainly when they showed us the angle from behind the goal, it did look like a pull.
Another chance here. I think it's a Tavernier corner, and have a look at it again. I mean, Balogun's up, he's rising. He pops over the crossbar, but for me, he should have done better.
Yeah, that was a decent chance. One game not delivering a goal this evening, John Robertson. Does it look likely?
Not really. If it is, you'd think it's going to come to Hibs. They've been a far better team second half. They've gotten the ball better. As you join us in the 77th minute, County have a corner. It's whipped in, headed well over the bar. It's been all Hibs second half. Joe Newell's gotten the ball and started to dictate play. He's now gone off. I say County made a triple substitution and they brought Scott Allardyce on the back of that. They're trying to get a foothold back in the game, but it's the Edinburgh side, or his team from Leith. I'll get a row from my big brother for saying that, who are on the front foot.
Yeah, if there's one positive I can offer to Hibs fans right now, Scott, they've moved off the bottom of the table thanks to that comeback from Kilmarnock through at Tynecastle. It's incredible. Hearts, bottom of the table, 6 points as things stand. Hibs 1 point better off. But for David Gray, it's still not good enough.
Well, first and foremost, hope Kelly keep all players on the park, because that's what's been the downfall all
5 times this season.
Listen, I think obviously John will be able to tell us better how they've defended in the game. I know there doesn't look there's much chances, but that's a start. What's going to be interesting is the last 15 minutes of that game. That's where Hibs
they're coming into danger time now, Scott. This is the bit, and to be fair, there's 500 Hibs fans up here tonight, which is a brilliant effort to get to Dingwall midweek, and they are getting right behind the team. I think they know if they go quiet, there'll be a problem for Hibs. But as I say, it's been all Hibs the second half. Saying that, County on the attack again. Brophy, just wide, but it's 15 minutes or 12 minutes to go now plus stoppage. It's anybody's game really, because it's still 0-0, but Hibs have definitely been on the front foot second half.
Anything at all in the second half from Dundee at Celtic Park, Martin?
No, I was just thinking about that. They've really struggled to get forward at all. Celtic in complete control of the ball. They're just trying to stay solid, I think, and not get any more damage. The changes have completely turned this on its head, and obviously that second just makes it a bit of a distant dream for Dundee at the moment.
And crossing to the game in Paisley, the home side, good value for their lead, Stephen?
Yeah, and that third goal really I think would have taken the game away from St Johnstone, but they've got a new lease of life since then. They made a couple of changes, Mackenzie Kirk being one, Barry Douglas back in Scottish football making his debut for St Johnstone, he's come on as well. So Simo Valakari's rolled the dice. Graham Carey, who's come off the bench and scored against Dundee at the weekend, so they certainly won't give this up. 3-1, it might have been a bit too far for them, but they showed on Saturday they can go behind, they can go back and get that goal or get goals and possibly win the game. But St Mirren have been really good tonight. This is a St Mirren that everybody knew from last season. They said that when they were hungry and they had loads of desire and they were horrible to play against. Possibly this time around this season they've been too easy to play against, and Stephen Robinson recognised that, but his players have been on the money tonight. It's been a really good game, I have to say.
Also a good game for you through at Tynecastle, Derek Ferguson. Yet again, Derek McInnes showing he knows how to win through there.
They've played for about 5 minutes, to be honest with you. 5 minutes, and they've scored 2 goals in those 5 minutes. It's incredible to think of Hearts. At the moment, as the table stands, bottom of the league, and Hibs second bottom. I mean, what odds would you have got at that at the start of the season? They're still, they've regained a wee bit of confidence. They're starting to get their passing going. I'm talking about Hearts. They're starting to pin them back a little bit. But you just feel at times, you know, this Kelly side, as I've already shown, they can do a bit of damage with that 2 up front. Certainly Vassell and Watkins. So a real worry, but it's a big game. I mean, you're talking about it's a big 15
it's a mistake. Machinilla's in one-on-one here. Can he tuck it away? Oh, he digs it over, it's a goal! It's a lovely finish. He digs it over the goalkeeper, Walton, but he's ran from inside his own half. Sometimes you can have too much to think about, but it's a lovely finish, and it's 2-1 to Motherwell.
That is terrific, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Cool. When he robs him on the ball, he uses his pace, he cuts across so that there's no chance the defender can get a challenge in, and then his finish is so cool just to dink it.
Well, you called it, Rory. You said there would be more goals in that game, and terrific celebrations from the away fans there at Tannadice.
Yeah, he's been a bright spark, a real good outlet for Motherwell. And I know we have a little bit of a laugh and a joke, but Tom, the standard of the game up here and things like that, but it has been a good example of that. No, I'm
Rory won't let this one go, will he?
No,
The defending, Rory.
I was going to back Tom up here. This game's been entertaining to an extent, and there's been goals in it. But the quality and the standard hasn't been great. However, that was a lovely piece of quality, I must say.
We saw both there, Rory, didn't we? We saw terrible defending, but we saw a lovely finish.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. But no, he's been very good. Oh, it's a lovely finish. Sorry, forgot what I was going to say there. But beautiful finish and 2-1 by though.
And great pace. Great pace.
Yeah, I think if you ask any football player, the one thing they would love is pace like that. It just takes you that extra yard. But listen, he's got the composure as well. Running at full pace and goes in and just lifts it over.
And talking of pace, Keskin on one side and then Shane Morris on the other. I mean, Balogun was so slack the ball, gave it to him. It was a 1-on-1. Casemiro got back round, got a touch on it, but Shane Morris's pace nearly got him there before Butland, and it spilled and it just fell to a Rangers jersey. If it had fallen to an Aberdeen jersey, it was 2-0.
Quickest player you played alongside, Dodgy?
Oh, goal!
Oh, wait a minute.
I mean, from nothing. I mean, I think it's Bayrami, I think, is it?
Oh.
He's got bodies round him, and he's in the box, and he just bends it with his right foot. And because it goes through the bodies, Mitov doesn't see it, or sees it late, but can't do anything about it, and it nestles in the bottom corner. Rangers have been better this second half, not spectacular, but they're level.
Philip Clement is really winding him up there on the touchline, isn't he? He's very, very excited. It's a brilliant finish from Bayrami. Class player, proved it in the Euros. Hasn't proven it in Rangers so far, but it's great feet there, Gilles.
You know what, they've been more competitive, and the game's evened out, and that's what he said. And Craig's come in talking about it, where he's seen Aberdeen a few times this season. Maybe just think, right, where are we in the game, and just try and maybe have a quiet period and maybe nick a second or make sure they don't lose a goal. But Rangers, without being brilliant, a level, and they go again. Here's Lawrence! Oh, just over. It's given them a huge lift. The Rangers fans feel it. You can see them away across from me. They're getting right behind their team now. They weren't right behind them at half time, but I don't know what's happened. But Clement's been into them, he's played his part, he's made his sub, and he's got his reward. And
we just go back to that penalty miss, that dreadful penalty right before half time.
The post. I mean, it could be 3-0 up at half time, and now it's 1-1.
The difference getting it 1-0.
I said to you, that's what I said, Scott, in terms of it was the penalty lift that probably gave Rangers a lift. There you go, the penalty miss, incredible.
Dodgy, who was the quickest you played alongside?
Oh, it was Kanchelskis was a flying machine, and Neil McCann was a flying machine, so they're right up there. I'd like to see them race, that's for sure.
Who was it for you, Scott? Who was that the lightning one?
I'll tell you the quickest player I played against, Jeremy Frimpong, when he was at Celtic. Oh my goodness.
Oh, he was some player, wasn't he?
He made you feel like you were very, very slow. He was incredible.
He's a tremendous player.
Pace-wise, Martin Boyle would be up there. Martin Boyle in his prime, and made my passes look decent sometimes at his pace.
Yeah, Hibs very much in search of something up there in Dingwall this evening, Rob. Into the closing stages, as you said, they've lost a few late goals this season, perhaps some nervy fans, so the big numbers of Hibs fans that have made the journey tonight.
Yeah, as we sit on another chance over the bar, it's right at the stadium from Triantis. I say they've dominated really 25-30 minutes in the second half. County started to play their way in a wee bit, because you can sense it. Hibs are getting nervous, the crowd's going quiet again, and you know that you're just, it's one of these rare ones. Defensively they've been solid. As I say, they've second half County have a couple of Brophy shots straight at Bursic, but nothing great in that respect, and certainly Hibs have been by far the better side the second half. But it's that period where Hibs fans will get nervous, and David Gray will get nervous, because I think he may well be disappointed if he comes away from here with a draw, given the way they played second half. But you know what I mean, we all know, you've seen the turnaround at Tynecastle. Hearts were looking at going 8th, they're now back to bottom. Hibs win, they could suddenly get up to around about 7th or 8th. That's that way it is at the bottom of the league at the moment, and David Gray needs a win, but he certainly can't afford to lose it, that's for sure.
Yeah, very, very tight, certainly in the bottom half of the table. Just looking at Dundee as things stand, Martin Dowden, they slipped down to 10th in the table. I'm looking up and seeing a couple of breakaways from them, but as you'd expect, Celtic in complete control.
Yeah, I think it's that idea of risk and reward for Dundee. They'll just, do they go for it, try and get a goal and lose one? I think Tony Docherty would rather that they just kept it as it is, you know, maybe just snatch something on the break, try and give themselves a lifeline, but it looks very unlikely. They've not come near Kasper Schmeichel's goal at all. And Celtic, they seem to have actually just taken their foot off the gas a little bit. They're just sort of toying with Dundee, trying to find gaps, but not overly exerting themselves. They know the points are in the bag if they just keep control and stay compact and solid.
What about the reaction from the fans through there at Tynecastle? I'm sure in a bit of a state of shock, Derek, how things have come around.
They're really quiet at the moment. They've made a couple of changes. They took Penrice. He went off the park. Not Penrice, sorry. Spittle and Devlin, two midfielders. They put on young Wilson and Barry Mackay. But again, it's suiting Kilmarnock because it's became really scrappy. Again, you're expecting certainly here. You know, a big finish from Hearts, but the fans need to play their part, and at the moment, you know, they're just sitting in silence. A little bit of shock, to be honest with you, for the most part. They've enjoyed a lot of possession, but just that 5-minute spell, it's absolutely killed them.
Celtic 2, Dundee 0, Dundee United 1, Motherwell 2, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 2, Ross County 0, Hibs 0, St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 1, Aberdeen 1, Rangers 1. Remember, that was an 8 o'clock kick-off in the League Cup in England. Full-time score, Brighton 2, Liverpool 3. Still playing deep into the late stages. Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 2, Manchester United 5, Leicester City 2, Newcastle United 2, Chelsea 0, Preston 0, Arsenal 3, and just approaching the hour mark, Spurs 2, Manchester City 1. Yeah, chance?
Yeah, it was a chance for Hearts there. Just Grant driving forward, just cutting in, has a strike with the right foot by McCrory. I just thought he lost it for a minute. Gathered it back again into his arms. So it's just fleeting moments you're getting from Hearts, but they need something. Just need to dig deep at the moment if they're going to salvage a point from this game at least.
Could you call a winner in the game at Pittodrie at this point, Billy?
Not now. What a turnaround it's been, and it's not. Rangers are brilliant. It just caused a level, and it's really given them a confidence.
What has the real difference been, Dodgy, then in the second half?
I think they're more competitive.
Is that not a given from the start of the game?
That's what I said. They had to show more, and if they hadn't, I think I said the Rangers fans, watch, Dessers, pure touch, comes to Bayrami, blocked. I mean, they're showing composure now. It's a catalogue of things. It's like they miss penalty, then they start better because they're more competitive, then they get their goal, and then the confidence is there. But it shouldn't really take that. But they were let off the hook. The penalty miss was massive. It really was, and Rangers are now taking. You know, they're taking responsibility and they're taking advantage of that.
They're more physical, Dodsey, in the second half.
Competitive, Tom, They made a couple of subs as well. Aberdeen, they've reacted. Bezelin on. It's Sockler and Nielsen who's gone off, so Ambrose has gone up and Bezelin's on the other side now with Keskinen. No, did Keskinen stay on or did he go? I think Keskinen might have gone off.
Yeah, he came off.
Yeah, listen, he's worked his magic with the substitutions. He's worked a lot of magic. Jimmy Tulane, can his side find a winner? What a chance they had in the first half to go in at the break. 2-0 up at least after hitting the post, and a really poor penalty from Jamie McGrath. Really comfortable saving. I saw the reaction at the time of Jack Butland. You could just tell he knew that potentially was a big turning point in the game, and so it was proven to be, albeit there's still plenty of time to go in that one. Let's get back to Paisley, the Battle of the Saints, the home side coming from behind there, and fairly comfortable, Stephen?
No, certainly not comfortable, Kerry. St Johnstone, as I said earlier on, have rolled the dice, and they're showing a little bit more ambition in the second half. They started off sluggish, and I think that's probably down to the pressing and the harassing of St Mirren. But since that goal was disallowed and the substitutions were made, Graham Curry's a lovely football player. I just love watching Graham Curry. He's got a lovely little deft touch. Players are running off him. He's finding the passes. Jason Holt had a shot over the bar, but probably 5 minutes or so ago. So St Johnstone are well in this game. St Mirren are playing counter-attack at times. They're having to sit back and absorb a little bit of pressure. Remember, they played on Sunday, and St Johnstone played on Saturday. It's about 24 hours rest with the players in the legs. And like Greg Kilty not playing an awful lot, and James Scott hadn't played an awful lot. Conor McMenamin's back, hasn't played an awful lot. Plus the leg work that the midfield had put into this game tonight. They are going to tire at some stage, and they may have to soak up a little bit of pressure. It's a dangerous game, but I don't think it's by design. It's just because the fatigue levels are kicking in, and I think St Johnstone sense that.
Yeah, so St Mirren on top through there in Paisley, just along the road from us here in the studio in Glasgow. As things stand, Motherwell leapfrogged Dundee United up to 4th in the table. Are they looking comfortable through there at Tannadice, Rory?
Yeah, Stuart Kettlewell's made a couple of changes. He's taken Tom Sparrow off and brought Andy Halliday into midfield. Ewan Wilson at 19-year-olds had a really good game tonight as well, actually. So Ewan Wilson, Lennon Miller and Andy Halliday in there all handle the ball really well. So, you know, they're able to retain the ball and stop Dundee United breaking. Zach Robinson's come on up front and he's played his part as well. So as it stands at the moment, I had that wee feeling when they were playing against Hibs. I don't have that tonight. Motherwell look pretty comfortable as it stands at the moment, Kenny. 2-1 up.
Okay, so 2-1 up for the away side. Of course, they have got a League Cup semi-final to look forward to at the weekend. Coverage of both games, of course, on Sports Sound. Celtic against Aberdeen on Saturday, Rangers against Motherwell from Hampden Park on Sunday. All the action to look forward to on Sports Sound at the weekend. It's a really busy period through the European games as well, of course, and another Scotland double header to come up. All the coverage right here, as you'd expect, on BBC Radio Scotland. Let's get back to the game in Dingwall, deep into the closing stages there. John Robertson, your feeling was perhaps a bit of a missed opportunity for Hibs tonight if they don't go on and win this game?
Yeah, I think, well, we've moved into Hibs time. That's what I'm calling it at the moment anyway. But we're 92 minutes in, and as I said, pretty even first half. Both teams had a couple of half chances. Second half has been mainly Hibs, 35 minutes. Hibs were well on top. Had chances, half chances has to be said. Laidlaw not really called out to make a save, but they've hit them past the post and over the bar. County have started the triple substitution has helped get a foothold. Brophy's had one good strike straight at Bursic from 25 yards. Another couple just past the post, but it looks like it looks like it's going to peter out. We've got 3 minutes left here of stoppage time. Still 0-0. Hibs are pushing. But there's no breakthrough as yet.
Right, I think there was a chance for Dodgy. Penalty check, Martin, at Celtic.
Yeah, Kenny, I think it's just been ruled out, actually. Yeah, there was a potential handball check for a penalty. It would have been a Dundee penalty.
It's Aberdeen who have gone in front, and it's the super sub again, Shayden Morris. It's come from nothing. It looks as if on the other side, I don't know who's poked it, but it's gone through Butland, it's rolled along the line, it's hit the post, it's come out to Shayden Morris, and he absolutely smashes it home. And from nowhere, where Rangers were the better team in the second half, Aberdeen back in front, 2-1.
Look at these celebrations, Julie Clayton, the fans there. What a journey they're on right now. I can't imagine what Willie Miller's doing at the moment.
Yeah, it's some game. It was a brilliant save from Jack Butland just before that. So they had a warning that that it was coming. And when it comes back to him, yeah, he slashes it right into the net. He'll probably not get too many easier opportunities because it just comes back off the post for Morris.
Would you aim any criticism at the Rangers defence there, Scott?
It's poor defensively again. I think. Listen, a bit unfortunate, it comes off the post and it falls to an Aberdeen player, but I think in these situations you've seen with Rangers recently, you're not surprised that it falls to an Aberdeen player's first to react.
Big goal.
Yes, another moment where a sub comes on and makes a difference for him.
The magic touch.
He's got the Midas touch.
He has.
Yeah.
He has everything he touches, we said on Saturday, is turning to gold. The subs, again, make the difference. Rangers, Scott's right, should have dealt with it. They're now throwing on a couple of subs as well. Get back to Jeffrey being one of them. Hadji, I think, the other.
The reaction from these fans up there, Billy, I mean, it's just an incredible time, isn't it, up there?
Yeah, they were quiet
fans.
there because Rangers started this second half better, got the goal, looked as if they could maybe get the confidence from that and go on and win it, and suddenly they're right back where they started behind, and it's all down to that Jimmy Talleen magical touch by introducing these subs as early as, I was surprised, 8 minutes into this second half, and Duke was off and Morris is on, and he's got his rewards.
Yeah, that goal coming on 74 minutes, there's still time to play there.
Really interested to hear Philip Clement's comments after the game. A couple of weeks ago I had a discussion with the Rangers fan in Sports and I said that I felt his comments after games at times were slightly delusional.
Yep.
And that fan disagreed with me. I think I've been proven right in recent weeks personally, so I'm going to be very, very interested to hear how he handles the press conference after the game, to see if he's a little bit more honest about how things have went.
Yeah, well, that's the point I was making earlier, Rory, about just some of the excuses he's putting in about the amount of new players players. Aberdeen have got lots of new players. It's not affecting them. He's been a bit nippy with some of the fans asking.
0-0.
Right, thanks to John Robertson. So looking at the live table as things stand, you'd have to say on the balance of play, perhaps a disappointing result for Hibs, albeit as things stand, they're off the bottom of the table. They're in the 11th on 7 points. Hearts at the bottom on 6 points, still playing through at Tynecastle. We'll get to Derek in just a minute. County have got to be happy. 8th in the table, 11 points from 11 games. And the point I was making there, Rory, was he's been a bit nippy with some of the fans, the podcasters that get now to go to these media conferences. He's not like being questioned on his style of play. We'll see what he comes up with
tonight. There's a fine line, Kenny, between defending your players and pulling the wool over the supporters' eyes.
Yes, very good point. A very good point.
That's Nicky Devlin in at the heart of that as well for that 2-1 goal. You think his shot comes off both posts?
I just think Nicky Devlin is a great athlete. He's a great professional, Billy. He's just
right. Okay, lads, I know where you're going. I'll change my mind.
But he gives you everything, doesn't he?
I think he's on a journey now. I've said it to you before.
Comes off the back post.
He's on a journey. He's got himself in the Scotland squad. He's deserved everything he gets out his career because he's such a hard worker. I said he's had a fantastic season, and he's proven that. It doesn't matter what I say, he's having a great season and he's loving his time here at Aberdeen.
Full time, Celtic 2, Dundee 0, and I can tell you there were celebrations at Pittodrie. They were the same here for Celtic fans, I have to say, and that tells you exactly what they think. As things stand, a 9-point gap to Rangers, and they see that as significant. Forget Aberdeen for them just now.
Yeah, it's good to know that they're all tuned into Sports Sound, that's for sure.
It's Aberdeen they need to be thinking about nowadays rather than Rangers, I think.
4 minutes, Kenny, for Hearts to salvage a point, incredibly here.
Are they looking likely, Derek, at all? They're creating much?
No, not really. Even the changes that the manager's made has not really made an impact. They're putting plenty of balls into the box now, but not creating anything really clear cut. You know, Kilmarnock have just settled back into that formation. You know what Kilmarnock are like, you know, they're so hard to break down, so pretty scrappy, and it looks more likely that Kelly will hit on the break because they are pushing players forward. You got a little attack here, Watson down the right hand side, but he's only going one place. He's taking the ball into the corner, just going to waste time. But no, to be honest with you, I don't think it looks like Hearts are going to get a point from this game, which, you know, you can look at it, you can see it's absolutely criminal because I don't think Kilmarnock have played pretty well, that well tonight. 5-10 minutes, but they took their opportunities, and that's what matters at this level.
Any sign of an equaliser at Tenerife, Rory?
No, not that I can see at this moment in time. Motherwell again quite comfortable. Midfielders all making good decisions with the ball just dropping to them. They do have a corner now though, well defended by Lennon Miller, right enough, but if they are going to get an equaliser, it'll need to come from this corner because the board went up for 3 minutes and that was a couple of minutes ago, so last chance saloon for Dundee United from the corner.
If you're watching us on the telly or on the iPlayer, just to tell you that I think we come off air there around about the final whistle of the game at Pittodrie, but you can hear us on the radio right through probably till around about 10:30 with post-match reaction. It's going to be really interesting to hear from both managers at Pittodrie if things stay as they are. Billy Dodds, any reaction from Rangers?
Not yet. Aberdeen have just taken a free kick. They know Rangers are zonal. They'd lined along the edge of the box and they rolled it up the line. So Aberdeen on the offensive. There was an injury there, so there'll be a few minutes added on.
Goal!
Yes, Stephen.
St Mirren have finished it off. Great play by the two substitutes, Mikel Mandron and Jonah Ayunga. As Ayunga goes through one-on-one with Ross Sinclair and just dinks it into the top left-hand corner. What a goal and what a night for St Mirren. 3-1.
Yeah, great strength, you'd have to say, there, bursting through, and that's game, set and match through. And they were behind in that game, Julie. This feels like a big win. They've got back-to-back home games. Next up it's Ross County for St Mirren. Yeah,
their home performances have been far better than their away performances, and this just makes it a more relaxing finish to the game for them. It's a brilliant finish as he runs through, just manages to lift it over the goalkeeper, and that'll be a great 3 points for St Mirren after what's been probably a really tricky period for them.
Yeah, 4 defeats in a row. I think Stephen Robinson was a deeply frustrated man with the manner of some of those defeats, but this is a thumping response to those defeats. And Phillips got a goal disallowed as well, so it could have been 4.
Full time at Tannadice, 2-1 Motherwell.
Yeah, is that some booze in the background there, Rory?
A few, yeah, but it's a bit harsh, isn't it? Dundee United haven't had a bad season at all. A couple of defeats on the bounce, but I'm sure they'll bounce back.
Some jobs feel Kettlewell's doing.
Isn't it?
Oh. Some job, yeah.
And he seems to have a good eye for a player as well, Scott, doesn't he?
I remember speaking to Andy Halliday at the start of the season. He was telling me they were really short of players, a lot of injuries. And do you remember that? I think they went to Hampden to play Rangers, and one of the first games of the season, they had half a team out.
That's right.
Put in a really good account of herself, and since then they've went from strength to strength.
It's all over. Kilmarnock have won 2-1, and I tell you what, the fans ain't happy as well.
Yeah,
heading out in their droves, but you know, a lot of boos around the stadium. Tell you what, Kilmarnock, you know, sometimes it's about blood and guts and you digging in there, and they've done that in the 2 moments and they took them.
Neil Critchley, honeymoon over. Derek,
say that again. I can hear there was a few.
The Neil Critchley honeymoon over.
Yeah, it certainly is. These fans demand that you win games of football, and it's incredible to think that Hearts, you know, after what is that, 9-10 games, bottom of the league. So there's a lot of work to be done. It's clear to see. You know,
6 points.
Yeah,
6 points after 11 games is pathetic.
Yeah, it's certainly not good enough. But there was signs tonight, you know, that there's a team there, but it needs to get more out of the players, especially when you're playing in front of a demanding crowd, a full house. The guys pay good money, so they expect more.
There's a VAR check for a possible red card. Was it Killian Phillips on Jason Holt? Jason Holt seemed to gesticulating that there was an elbow in his face from Killian Phillips.
Not seen a replay yet, Stephen. We just see the pictures coming in now. All the players looking a bit bemused, I have to say, as things stand. Referee Stephen McLean with his hand to his ear, speaking to his VAR colleagues. They'll be giving him guidance right now on what he should be thinking about or looking at. Just seeing this, come on, at fans through there. We can see the pictures coming, the players over celebrating. You know, it looks like a sellout for the way in through there at Tynecastle. Terrific for Derek McInnes. He's given them some great times in the capital. There's the man himself going over, celebrating with the fans. Derek McInnes, a great night for them. A come from behind victory for Kilmarnock through at Tynecastle. What's happening then in Paisley? We're still waiting, Stephen.
Not check over.
Check over.
Because there was a potential elbow in the face, and then Killian Phillips flew into a tackle. I was wondering then was it for the tackle off the ground, but certainly it was Jason Holt who was sending an elbow in the face, but it's been cleared.
I'm just thinking, you're speaking about Andy Halliday and Motherwell and the job that Stuart Kettle was doing. Andy Halliday's getting a decent run in the team right now, and if things stand the way that they are ahead of that semi-final, full coverage at the weekend, of course, in sports, and Motherwell go into that full of confidence, a great away win. As things stand, Rangers go into that not in a great place.
Full-time, St Mirren, Kenny, 3-1.
Thanks, Stephen.
Listen, I think Motherwell, off the back of that and how their seasons went so far, and based on that performance we spoke about at Hampden, obviously early in the season, with not in the same form they're in now, they'll be thinking there's a chance we can get through here. No question. I think anybody looking at Rangers and defensive frailties and kind of no cohesion throughout their team at the moment, if they get the game plan right, there's chances to beat Rangers.
They're only 3 points behind Rangers in the league after 10 games. You know, it's remarkable. Between
really
the two
is.
of them.
It really is.
Right, so just to bring you up to date, the games that have finished, the 7:45 kick-off. Celtic 2, Dundee 0. Dundee United 1, Motherwell 2. Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 2. Ross County 0, Hibs 0. St Mirren 3, St Johnstone 1. One game still playing. It's the game of the night. It's through at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 2-1 up against Rangers there. Billy Dodds, what are you seeing from the away side? Anything at all?
Well, not yet, because it's a bit like when Rangers scored, they got a lift. Now Aberdeen have got a lift, and they're really competitive again. They're winning their duels. Shinnie just winning that one against Igaman, and then he goes to deck. Sterling, I thought he was going to go off. He went right through in a tackle, and the sub Clarkson, he got a yellow card. Philip Clement now losing it. He's getting a yellow card from John Beaton. It's all happening here, but Rangers are struggling now. After they lost that goal, after being the better team in the second half, they're going to have to find a way again, and they just look as if they're hitting their heads against a brick wall at this moment in time.
There's a man under pressure, Dodsey, Philip Clement.
He's swimming.
Yeah, he's waving his finger there at John Beaton. He's now speaking with the fourth official. He's not at all happy, and you can understand why. He's got to be under pressure. Billy, can I just ask you a quick question? I remember thinking this when Stephen Naismith signed a new deal at Hearts. A few weeks later, he was gone. Philippe Clement recently signed a new deal. I'm not saying he's going to be going, but in terms of these deals with clubs, is it built in that although they signed that new deal, it probably doesn't affect too much the compensation if the manager is relieved of his position?
Most managers now are working. Listen, it might be different at really big clubs, but most managers are working, maybe getting 6 months compensation if they lose their job, but at the most probably a year. So when they sign long-term deals, most clubs it won't matter too much, because if they do it covers them, it compensates the club. If they lose them, they'll get a year's wages. If they sack them, then they'll only have to pay a year's compensation. So because it's a longer term deal, doesn't usually affect it too much, Kenny.
Right, okay, just some pictures coming in here. The St Mirren players. I just saw Balcom, the goalkeeper, James Scott, and a wee dance there in the park. Tans are now clapping with the home support there. It felt like a big win for St Mirren. Back-to-back home games. Next up, Ross County for the end of the weekend. The captain, Mark O'Hara, there giving the thumbs up to the supporters there at the Smythe Stadium. It's a good win for St Mirren, a very good win for Kilmarnock, terrific from Motherwell, Dundee United. Celtic comfortable in the end against Dundee at Celtic Park. Martin saying a huge cheer came through there when Aberdeen went back in front at Pittodrie, and that's the way it remains. Billy Dodds, this is all now about character, about desire, about belief in these Rangers players, because they have got to be short in confidence right now. It's a complete opposite for the home team.
Yeah, I mean, Aberdeen realise now 87, just coming to the end of the 87th minute. They've got a bit to hang on, not long. They're getting a good shape. It's up to Rangers to break them down. They're trying to push. They've not really created all night. By Rami with that piece of individual brilliance, but no real chances created. Raskin swings one in. It's a long ball. Oh, bit nervy from Aberdeen. Rubic just knocks it for the corner. So there is a chance for Rangers, Kenny.
Yep, so still the play on up there. I'll just go through the table for you right now as things stand. Obviously still playing deep into the closing stages there at Pittodrie this evening. So the Premiership table as things stand: Celtic 28 points, Aberdeen 28 points, Rangers 19 points, 9 off the top two. Mother, what a season they're having, 16 points. Dundee United, they lost tonight, but it's been good on their return to the top flight, 15 points. Kilmarnock make up the top 6. It's quite remarkable how quickly things can change, given the poor start they had to the season. Of course, they had Europe to look at as well, but Derek McInnes showing his class and bouncing back there after the disappointment up in Dingwall on Saturday. St Mirren back to form, 11 points. Ross County, 11 points. That's good from them, 11 from 11 games. St Johnstone 10 points, a sore one for Simo Valakari tonight after a great result through at Dens Park at the weekend. Speaking of Dens Park, Dundee back-to-back defeats, going down away at Celtic Park tonight on the back of that Tayside derby defeat to St Johnstone at the weekend. And incredibly, Hibs 11th, 7 points. Hearts bottom of the table, 6 points from their opening 11 games. 1 win and 3 draws there for Hearts in their 1 win there for Hearts, just down at the bottom of the table there this evening. So what is happening there, Billy Dodds? Seeing a wee drink of water on the screen there. It's been hard work tonight, hasn't it?
I'll tell you what, I mean, this second half has been brilliant, but you can't take your eyes off it. The energy put in, the atmosphere in this stadium. Raskin had a strike there, and Mitov had to watch it. He caught it not bad from about 25 yards, flew over the crossbar. Rangers still trying to press. At this moment in time, Kenny, I would have to say Aberdeen look comfortable. I've been made to eat my words before.
Right, I mean, it's deep into the closing stages here. For our 3 guests in the studio, where do you think we are right now with Philippe Clement and Rangers? I mean, are we talking, if he doesn't get the semi-final win at the weekend, or is he a long way off from Rangers pushing the button? What are we talking about?
Well, yeah, who would make who is at that football club to make the decision?
Good point. Yeah, good point.
They don't have they have an interim chairman who's not going to make a huge decision like that. They don't have a CEO. So the club is missing a massive leadership function. And that shows why it's a bit dysfunctional right now. This club, on and off the pitch, you could argue. So I think Clement is safe. As safe as you can be when the Rangers fans are howling.
When you're 9 points behind Aberdeen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If the club was settled and then all the key people in the key positions, would Clement be safe? No, I don't think he would be. But right now, until they get those people in the door, I don't think they're going to make a decision to make a move on him.
Yeah, I agree with Tom. I think there's issues all over the place at the club in terms of they don't have the people in position that they would like, especially for a club that size. So I think there's probably positions that they need to fill. But yeah, I mean, on the park, when you're looking at performances and results, they're not good enough for a Rangers side. I think even the players that they do have are far more capable of the displays in which they're showing their Rangers
And that's down
fans.
to the manager, is it not?
It is for me. I've said it now since the start of the season. I think he can do more to get to get a tune out of this team, and whether that's tactically or change the system, play players in certain positions, something's got to give. Watching that first half, for me it was timid, the amount of duels that are lost between and players' individual battles, which is the basics of football. Dodgy's up there watched it, he'll tell you, when you're individual, one of the things you're taught when you're a kid, when you're individual battles, give yourself a chance to go and play your football. Rangers aren't showing that at the moment, so for me I think he's safe because of the current situation above him at the club. But I think if it was in a better position, I think they would be looking at it saying, is he getting a tune out of these players? Are they prepared to get into games? And for me,
sorry Scott, see boards, Kenny, boards look at performance and see if you're not competitive. It makes their mind up. I've heard that before, I've heard people speak, I know what directors are like. They can see if you're playing away okay and you're competitive and you're losing with odd goal and you've been a bit unlucky. See if you're like that first half, it kind of makes their mind up. So come the semi-final, if it doesn't go their way, I think he's under serious pressure, I really do.
Yeah, frustration boiling over. A yellow card for Raskin there.
Yeah, there's been a few. Malloy picked up a strange one. Looked as if he got a bit of the ball, but John Beaton's booked him. It's a hard game to handle tonight because both sets of players were up for it, and then Raskin getting a bit frustrated there, picking up a yellow on the far side. But Aberdeen, 93 minutes, there's 4 minutes injury time to be played. There might be a little bit more now, but as I said to you, Aberdeen look pretty comfortable. Rangers are looking a little bit desperate.
And we've given so much praise to Jimmy Tulline, Billy. It doesn't stop us dishing out some more for him tonight. This was a big test, albeit I think it's a fairly poor Rangers team right now. But Aberdeen, and what I've seen here, what I've heard from you, have thoroughly deserved it to go on to hold on the 3 points tonight. The job this man is doing is remarkable.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, he maybe just be riding the crest of the wave, but he can't fluke it all the time, because that's 4 or 5 games I've been at where his subs have influenced it, and that's the mark of a good manager. And just we've talked about players that were out the pitch are coming back, so good coaching, making them feel part of it. Do you know what? It's good man-to-man correspondence with them as well, because a lot of managers blank them. He's brought them back in, he's obviously talked to them, they've responded. Every player in this squad is giving them something, and that is a healthy situation to be in.
You look at these substitutions, you know, Nisbet comes off the bench against Ross County, scores the winner. Palaversa comes off the bench against Hearts, scores the winner. Ambrose comes off the bench against Dundee United.
Tavernier should score. Wait to see it coming through. He's got to hit target, he just glanced it wide.
Past the post.
I think, is he giving it offside? No, I don't think so, but
it's a hard one. Maybe not for Dodgy, but that's a hard one for me.
He's got Scott, man, that's a bit.
You're scoring it, Dodgy, 100%.
Bread and butter for you, Dodgy.
Oh man,
it's a wee bit, not quite behind him, but he's got to
adjust his body, doesn't he?
I've never been a great header of the ball, so maybe I'm not.
I think it was a bit harsh, Dodgy.
Aberdeen have won it, 2-1. The players hit the deck, a few of them. Rangers fans not happy, Rangers players not happy, but the Dons have got the job done.
It's all well and good until you see that in a game and it works, and you go, oh, by the way, this does work.
Yeah.
And when everybody starts to buy into it, that Brendan Rodgers done it the first time he came in at Celtic. Jimmy Tulline's got that at Aberdeen. I think the team's got different sort of traits. We've seen all sorts of different performances from them this season, which have led to the same thing, and that's wins. And that's a sign for me that Aberdeen are a proper side this year.
And I think, Billy, we look at the substitutions as Tom highlighted there. We look at the style of play. We look at the recruitment, the players that have come in, and the opposite to what Philippe Collins was saying about Rangers. These players have come right in, they've fitted in, they've done a job. But also with a man, Shayden Morris tonight. I just find it incredible that Jimmy Tulline has managed to turn around that boy's fortunes.
It's not just Shayden Morris's fortunes, as you say.